And there's a base hit. Smolinski lines one to right. So what an inning for the A's. They've scored 5 times. They'll have 5 hits in the inning.
First baseman, number 17, Yonder.
Another fastball, just middle. We talked about the A's hitters going back up the middle. Smolinski driving this one the other way, letting that ball get nice and deep.
And Cesar Ramos. First pitch to Smolinski is a strike. 270 for Smolinski, a couple of home runs, 8 RBIs, 10 hits and 37 at bats. He's got a double and a triple. And he shoots this one right up the middle for a base hit. He waited on that curveball. There's 4 hits now for the Athletics against Ramos.
Well, this is the second slow curveball that the A's have hit right back up the middle. You can see Ramos, as big and as slow as that is, Smolinski out on his front foot, like we talked about, driving that back up the middle. It's textbook.
Reach for, and it's poked to right field and a base hit. So a broken bat, Smolinski will take it. And the A's have a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 6th.
With the slider, back-to-back slider, as a matter of fact, after fastballs for 2 strikes, and then a slider miss, went back to slider, and there's your shift as a soft line drive into right field, right past the second baseman. So I don't know that many hitters with 2 strikes going to try to pull an outside slider.
So far this year, averaging a little over 27,000 a game. If they keep playing the way they're playing, the place will start to fill up.
Yeah, well, especially towards the end of the year.
Pitch number 95 coming up from Walker, and it's a fastball just outside. It's been a pitcher strike zone tonight by Lance Barrett, but that one was just a little bit too far off the plate. Nuno. Smolinski waits, fouls it to the screen. So now a full count with Crisp in the on-deck circle.
1-2 count his last at bat as Coco waits, but Smolinski got back-to-back sliders, one of them to right field for a base hit. This at bat, all fastballs from Walker. And you'd have to think he's going to stay with the same pitch.
There's a shot, base hit left center field. That will get Simeon home. Smolinski comes through, and it's 2-0 Athletics.
And that's how you approach a hitter or a pitcher who's throwing fastballs. And I think they've said, let's rather pitch to Smolinski than Coco Crisp. So here comes a fastball. Smolinski had a chance to see enough of them and just crushed one to left center past the shift. So the air hurts. The A's take advantage of it. As diving for the ball was Taylor. He's the one that made the air to put Simeon at second. And Smolinski with a great hit drives him in. Well, you stay all fastballs, every hitter is going to say, you're going to stay with it. I'll just look for it, gear up a little bit more, and each one that he saw got a better swing and able to pull it into left center.
So 2 outs, base is still loaded, 2 runs in here in the 5th, and here's Smolinski. Off speed pitch, just a little bit low. Smolinski has yet to be retired. 2 singles and a walk. And there's another hit. Valencia will score. Davis being waved home. Throw to the plate. Not in time. 2 more runs. It's 14-2. The A's lead. Smolinski's 3 for 3. So we're going to have a pitching change. That's a fair ball and another run for the A's. Smolinski is going to have extra bases. Begley scores, and Smolinski has a double, a triple, a sac fly, a couple of RBIs, and it's now 12-3.
Pretty good day, especially with a third baseman off the line that much.
The A's are rolling.
We'll get a man loose in the pen. Ken Giles will start to loosen. Bringing some heat right away. Semi-shift now has Altuve on the first base side of second. Very short lead by Butler as Keuchel misses badly on that first offering. .111 pitches. You wonder at what point AJ says enough's enough. And 2-0. Yeah, in terms of overall sharpness, this doesn't compare to the previous start for Dallas Keuchel. And yet he's got a chance to get through possibly 7 innings as Brent Strom now is going to come out to the mound. And that's a long walk for a guy who has just had knee surgery.
Yeah, that's going to test our efforts up here.
What do you want to talk about?
Not sure.
So I wonder in this conversation.
I think there's a couple of things going on right here. You might be telling him this is your inning to get out of. Give him a breather, and also give Ken Giles an opportunity to get loose down there in the bullpen.
I also wonder if Brent Strom might have said, get this out. This is as far as we can go. We'll give you one more man, or possibly said, if you can do it quickly, we can get you a couple of outs in the inning.
Well, he has thrown a lot of pitches, but he has not been under much duress in doing so. It's pretty much been self-induced.
Yeah, I would say the biggest duress has been pitching with 3 balls to a lot of hitters. 115 pitches, the most that Dallas has utilized in any game this year. Finds that inside edge. It's 2-1. Smolinski, one of those hitters, at least based on when we've seen him, that's willing to take a number of pitches. Grounds one foul outside of third.
Oh, didn't work.
You don't want to do that on your proteges, do you?
I was trying to get him to kick it. It's good for banter and entertainment.
I think Ron Washington does that with his infielders.
Probably not.
Good coach, bad coach, I think is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And now we're at it again. 3-2 for Dallas. 115. He's matched the season high. That came against the Texas Rangers in Arlington on June 7th. In the air to right field. Springer has got to get back, and quickly can't get there. One hop up against the wall. Butler can only get to third base on a double by Smolinski. Back-to-back hits, and the A's threatening now in the 7th inning. AJ coming out of the dugout. That's going to do it, as Dallas Keuchel will work 6 1/3 innings. This double by Jake Smolinski, chasing him in the 7th.
There's a lot of baseball to be played, and what's really important for the Twins, and I think Twins fans, is to see
Smolinski with a deep drive to left, and that's not coming back. A home run for Smolinski, and it's 3-0 Oakland.
Well, there was a situation right there where Smolinski said, okay, I've watched you, Pat Dean, throw in on everybody, me included, my first time up, and I'm just going to set up for the ball middle in and just cheat on it. If you're going to throw it in there, I'm going to look in there and just let her go. Ball is up. Above the hands against good fastball hitters, not great. Right in below the hands, that probably has a different result. But again, as Kurt Suzuki and I were talking about,
Smolinski skies one to center, hit pretty well. Selsky going back, still going back, and that baby's gone. Smolinski to straightaway center field, and it's 4-0 Athletics.
Well, there's some hard hit balls already in this inning. All 4 hit very hard. And Jake Smolinski, Coliseum for his first home run. This one, good fastball, low and away this time, and he just, what a great swing from the right-hander, straightaway center field. And for some reason, after today, the ball seems to be carrying. That one carried probably better. Simeon's was a line drive. This one, you go straightaway center, you're thinking, well, maybe Selsky's going to get to it, but he just kept going. It showed a lot of power, did Smolinski.
So Athletics, the offense has struggled on the trip, but a good start today. 4 runs and 5 hits. Just a couple runs per game on the trip. 4 solo home runs, but today a couple of 2-run shots. Those numbers were coming into today's game. So a good start.
I forgot the pitcher was in it. Maybe Lamb was trying to pitch to Smolinski, figuring that Graveman is going to be bunting.
Strike 3 called, and that's the first out of the second.
Now Smolinski showing his power, because Selsky, the center fielder, just kept going back like he had a chance to catch it, and it cleared the wall by plenty from the grassy area in center field. So Jake Smolinski, his first start of the weekend against the lefty. Used as a pinch hitter, which in the National League parks, pinch hitting for the pitchers.
So still first and third, 1 out now. Here's Smolinski. So Smolinski hitting in the pitcher spot.
And Bernard Span reaching up as far as he could, and that's that 12-inch glove getting the extra length on the webbing, which is a great play.
So 0-1 to Smolinski. He just need to pick up this run at third. And there's a strike, and it's 0-2. I don't know what the number is, but the percentage of right-handed hitters that Lopez faces is very, very minimal.
Backdoor slider, and Jake thought it came around the plate.
2 pitch, down and away. Coco Crisp will be next. And a crazy game tonight, and it's still not over. Closer Santiago Casilla is up. Bochy only has 2 pitchers left. I take that back. 3. Casilla, Law, and the young man who pitched last night, Chris Stratton. But Stratton threw 3 innings. Outside, now 2-2.
Stratton more of a long man, probably not available anyway. Probably fortunate to still be with the Giants. A lot of times a guy eats innings like that and his reward is AAA. But Jake Smolinski. Lopez staying away with the backdoor slider, backdoor fastball.
Left field and deep. And that baby is out of here. 9-8. A's lead. Wow.
Jake Smolinski, a pinch hit 3-run homer.
Unbelievable. And Santiago Garcia was probably going to come in if Lopez had gotten Smolinski out. Instead, he gives up a 3-run home run. It's back to 9-8.
Jake has had an opportunity with Josh Reddick on the disabled list. They do some damage, especially as had success against left-handed pitching. He's gone 7 for 19. That's a 368 mark against left-handers. And he brings in a 5-game hitting streak. One ball and one strike. Smolinski, of course, the former Ranger. That 5-game hitting streak, that's one short of his longest career streak, 6 with the Rangers back in 2014. Semien with good speed at first. Five stolen bases and only 6 tries. Holland leaning in for the sign. Now he has the one he wants. A ball and 2 strikes. Smolinski and Holland have not faced each other, at least in the regular season. Go back to some batting practice sessions or inter-squad games. I'm sure that they have faced off before. A drive to deep left field. Mazzara is back. He pulls up. That ball's gone. Jake Smolinski with his 3rd home run of the year. It is 2-0 Oakland.
That looked like a belt-high changeup. Center square. And Smolinski waited on it. And he clocked it. Let's take a look. Inside part of the plate, belt high, and he turned on it. Off speed pitch. Fastball in there, might not have been quite so quick with it.
Ready than Nova was in his 6 innings.
So you can, if this game is
tied or the Yankees are winning. You're going to see those guys today. Smolinski takes a strike. 1-1 the count. Smolinski grounded out in the second inning. Came up with 2 on and 2 out. Goes down and gets that breaking ball and lines it to left for a 1-out single. So that breaks up the 7 consecutive hitters retired by Michael Pineda.
So with that thought in mind, how about the A's take a 3-2 lead in this inning? That would be a big plus. Smolinski doing the job. Watch a lot of sliders thrown by Pineda.
Number 4.
And this one down low and able to go down and get under it and drive the ball to left field. He almost went down to his right knee. Following his former teammate with the Rangers, Beltre, played with Texas a couple years ago.
Smolinski hits it hard. What a play by Gonzalez. His throw to first, and it's past White. And Smolinski will be aboard. It'll be a base hit. Gonzalez had a dive. Made a heck of a play.
Well, this is where Gonzalez normally playing second base. I mean, this is almost a routine to a shortstop, and when he gets up, just kind of spikes that throw. You almost feel like he would have been better off coming up and sidearming that throw rather than trying to come over the top, and kind of puts White at first base in a little awkward hop. It was that in-between hop, not the long one. He just couldn't come up with it.
You just missed that one last night. He said, I'm going to get it tonight. Well, here it is. We'll see. I don't know if he realizes that. Well, I know he realizes that he's still looking for the first hit.
Anderson kicks and fired. Big curveballs outside. So the pitch count now at 81. Carter cannot get it, and that's going to be a base hit.
Isn't that a thing of beauty? Take the shift.
So that's the first hit of the game, and it was nothing more than a squibber right at the second baseman, except the shift was on.
Well, there's a start. It was a cue shot. Change up. Swung hard. Hit it off the end of the bat. Got tremendous spin on it. And Chris Carter, the only one on the right side, he couldn't get to it. And it just squirted into right field. And
done before you get to the heart of this order.
And some home run power in that pinch hitting slot. Billy Butler. They've got Butler, Fegley, Larendorf available from the right side, and the speedy Burns as a pinch runner too, also part of the package as we go to the top of 9th. Here's Jake Smolinski, who will pinch hit in the top of the 9th inning. The way to start it, strike one from the Reds lefty. A run, 8 hits for Oakland, 9 left on, 2 runs, only 5 hits and 3 left on. This one looped to the right side. It'll bounce off the tarp. Smolinski as a pinch hitter this year is 1 for 5. And through his career, 3 for 17. He was another one of the A's that's been recalled from Nashville during the month of May with all the injuries that they've had. All of his starts have been in right field, and the rest of the appearances as a pinch hitter. And Billy Butler's moved into the on-deck circle.
Yeah, Butler made his name with the Kansas City Royals. He's a .308 hitter against left-handed pitching, but off the bench, he's only hitting .214. As you and I were talking about earlier, pinch hitting,
different animal.
That's one of the, if not the toughest job in the game. It's 1 or 2.
Barnhart setting up inside. Here's the 1-2. Drifted out over the plate, fouled off again. The count stays 1-2.
Smolinski has been late on every fastball Cingrani has thrown.
Tony peers in, gets his sign from Barnhart. Barnhart checking up, make sure Smolinski's not peeking. He sets up inside for a fastball again. This one drifts out over the plate again. He's wanted it in and down each time, and each pitch is drifted out over the plate.
You can almost see Smolinski as his approach, his bat, as it comes into the hit zone. He's looking to shoot that ball into the right center field gap.
Barnhart sets up again. Count still 1-2. This one, just as you said, Cowboy, shot into the hole in right field, and the leadoff hitter's on here in the 9th inning. Our Volkswagen drive of the game tonight.
Right now the A's trying to get back in the game. Well, they are back in the game now. Maybe finish off what would be a heck of a comeback. 7-4, and there's a base hit, so a good start. Smolinski again goes down to get a low pitch. So hit number 9.
We've seen a few good at bats from Smolinski, especially going the other way. This a sinker meant to be down and away. Martin Perez yanks it middle in a little bit. Smolinski drives it right back up the middle for a nice start.
Smolinski 0 for 1. He had a fly ball to right in the 7th. He pinch hit for Max Muncy. One double, one triple, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs on the season, 21 games for Smolinski. Mike Trout is playing his bat as deep as you can play in center field without getting buying a seat. You can barely see him out there. Yeah, playing Jeffrey Marte territory here. Yes. Two-0. 2-1. Ron Washington always aggressive as a third base coach. 2-out walk, putting the potential winning run at first base. Two-one pitch. Smolinski lifts one out toward right field. Cole racing over. He's not going to get there. It'll fall in for a hit. Simeon will end up at third base. And with that no doubles alignment, it allows the winning run to get to third. A's with runners at the corners, 2 outs, and Billy Burns coming out. The very dangerous Billy Burns because he puts everything in play.
Now batting, center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
296 with 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Bounces one up the middle. So the king of auto parts.
Yeah, he put on the brakes right there,
Yeah.
Smolinski.
The leadoff
As
single.
he thought about maybe stretching into a double.
His dad, Ray.
Ground ball, right up the middle. Mike Trout charges it quickly to keep Smolinski at first base.
Right behind him, right behind second base. But it worked out.
That's the thing too now with the shifts. I mean, if you're a pitcher, you really need to stop and turn around and see where everybody is, because they are moving almost every batter.
And when I was still pitching, that was just the beginning of it, so I never had to deal with that. But like I said, it was only with a guy on first or a double, first and third, a double play type situation, where I would turn around and kind of look where the guys are. Like if you see Harrison there, if say there's a guy on first, I would look, okay, he's up the middle a little bit more, so if it's to my left, I'm going to let it go. But now you almost have to turn around for everyone.
Smolinski has grounded to short and lined to short. Taken all the way, and it's in first strike. Pumps another one in there. So just like that, it's 2-2. It's down in the Pirates bullpen. Chilly night. And that's going to drop into right center for a hit. So a 2-out single for Smolinski. And maybe the A's can get something going with 2 outs.
After Smolinski took 2 straight heaters down the middle, he gets a changeup. Schugel tries to go with it. He goes with the off-speed pitch, and Smolinski drives it right back to center field. Jammed himself maybe a little bit, but enough to get it out there and get the A's a base runner away from him.
1-1 to Smolinski.
On the swing, Davis is off. He's running. The play is in front of him, so he doesn't even really need to pick up Wash. You can see him staring at it. He sees it get by Frazier, doesn't even look at Wash, and scores easily.
Smolinski at .328, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. And he lines one to left, and that's a hit. Frazier on one bounce gets it in quickly. And Butler stops at third. First and third, 1 out.
Liriano threw Smolinski a good change up the one before. He tried to double up on him, and this one was too much of a strike and up over the plate. Smolinski able to stay back. You can see right there, he gets that foot down and drives it to left field. Butler has to hold up.
Night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a green and yellow Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/NDSU or call 800-33-TWINS. Down and away 2-0 to Jake Smolinski. Twins have a pull shift on for Smolinski. And in the second inning, he had a ground ball up the middle, but Dozier was standing right where he's standing right now and made the play. And now a 3-ball count to Smolinski. A's got off to a good start this year. They were 13-12 in April, but then they really struggled. Injuries have played a big part. They've used the disabled list 20 times this year. A strike, 3-1. On the ground sharply through the hole, even with the 3 infielders on the left side. Smolinski gets a ground ball single, and that'll bring up Matt McBride. The A's in 4th place in the West, 3 games better than the Angels. And the Angels beat Tampa Bay 13-5.
Smolinski is hitting .304. He has 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. He's had 79 at bats. Has a .494 slugging percentage. As a pinch hitter, 3 for 10, 1 homer, 3 runs batted in for Smolinski. And that's strike 1 on a foul. Jed Lowry's on deck. The A's have made it interesting. They led 3-0 after the top of the 4th. Feliz working now. They've cut the Astros lead to 7-6. Both clubs with 10 hits, no errors. It's 0-2. Smolinski has started July, going 3 for 16. Had a very good month of June. He was recalled from AAA Nashville May 20th for the first time by the A's. He's been with the Texas Rangers as well. Upstairs, 1-2 to Jake Smolinski. Jake Arrieta lost for the Cubs. He's now 12-4. Mark Melanson got his 27th save for the Pirates. Arrieta gave up 6 earned runs in 6 innings.
He's come back down to earth somewhat, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. 2-2. Well, the Cubs and the Texas Rangers have both slowed down somewhat. Cubs, though, had an 8-game lead over St. Louis, 8.5 over Pittsburgh before today's games. St. Louis is trailing at Milwaukee 4-3 in the 9th. Foul back. Still 2-2. The Astros bullpen ERA is the 2nd lowest in the American League, 3.17 coming into this game. Ground ball left side, and that's a single. 3rd hit of the inning. Smolinski has a pinch single, bringing up Lowry. And we get a pinch runner at first. Tyler Ladendorf.
It's in a zone where Smolinski was able to get a really good swing. Might feel fortunate that this was hit over the top of the baseball.
What do you expect from the catcher?
Joke also when a hitter swings at a pitch and he says, was it a strike? He says, yeah, you swung.
And Mark Kotze takes over. Called a strike, 2-2 the count.
I think it was Matt McBride. He says, I'm getting a chance to manage. And why are you coming up to me? I'm manager now.
Vogt led off the inning with a single before things got a little weird, and that one off the glove of Mark.
Were you going to call it a foul ball?
It just popped out of his glove.
Almost like it went through the webbing of his catcher's mitt, but it just missed, like you said, as he reached up and he closed and hit the webbing.
So 3-2 in scoring position. Chopped up the middle into center field, a base hit.
And the pass ball could help the A's. It will help the A's as Vogt slides in to score to make it 7-4.
Now Bob Melvin showing confidence in Jake Smolinski, having him face a right-hander at center field. What does he do? Takes a 3-2 breaking ball that may be as high, but you never know with the strike zone being what it is. You go for it. Hits it up the middle. Stephen Vogt at second because the pass ball. And Pilar trying to throw him out, could not do it. So great job of hitting by Jake Smolinski. And Stephen Vogt, oh, don't, what is it? Don't fall asleep. Don't sleep on that
sleep on his feet.
You just showed it. And Tulowitzki, kind of the old school, and he wants as much UVA help as he can, especially with a very high sky in the sun.
Off a hat right to Donaldson, and Donaldson will pick it up and hold on to it. And they'll check with Jay Happ. Thought he glanced down at his left hand.
Man, he's flexing it too, isn't he?
So
you hear
that's
the
scary.
Yeah.
Hit him in the left hand.
Oh. Maybe the left wrist, hand. As he follows through, just watch the left hand as he follows through it. He didn't know which way to move it.
That outside corner.
I think Ryan Healy may or may not want to review that pitch, but it did get back to the corner. Mount Davis, a gorgeous sight here in Oakland. Eight-hitter Jake Smolinski stands in.
There it is, majestic Mount Davis.
Pine trees and all.
For your viewing pleasure.
It's been boarded up there. Will the Raiders stay or will they go?
Raiders.
Hit to third, diving stop, Valbuena fires to second. That's late. It'll be an infield single for Jake Smolinski, but what an effort by Luis Valbuena.
Tell you what, the effort keeps that ball in the infield and doesn't allow that ball to get down that line where there might have been a potential run.
Batting in the ninth position, second baseman.
Good footwork, laying out. Kind of went back across his body, making the decision to go after Yonder Alonso at second base as opposed to going across the diamond trying to get Smolinski.
I don't know how he did that. Looked like he was
some serious
crossfire. Up and throwing position when he made that decision to go to second.
The Orioles' infield defense could be the best in the American League. Machado's great, Hardy, Scope, and Davis. They're all very well above average defensively. Jake Smolinski at 286 with 6 home runs. Now back to Miley. Yeah, I think the Orioles, I think a left-handed starter was first on their to-do list at the trade deadline, and they got him.
Yep.
They got him from the Mariners for a young left-hander by the name of Ariel Miranda. And interesting, Ariel Miranda is going to pitch against the A's on Friday for the Seattle Mariners. So we will see Miley tonight and the young man he was traded for, Miranda, on Friday. There's a line drive toward Jones in center. He'll play it on a hop. Smolinski has a 1-out single here in the first.
Smolinski gets that fastball middle. Good swing there, head down, bat. You can see how long it stays through the zone. Drives it right back at where it came from.
So here's Danny Valencia. To just go for a run. Try that.
Although I've had times where you go to spring training and you have to do sprints with the catching gear on. So why am I doing that? It's because you're going to have to back up first, and you're going to have to do that. You're not going to back up first without shin guards and chest protector. But
why do I get the feeling they don't do that anymore?
I think you're right. That was a long run for Saltalamacchia, but really here too, with the foul ground, you have to get in shape to be a catcher because there is a lot of foul territory. If you actually run, you're hoping as you look to see if the throw is on line, you don't run as hard.
Look at team player. There's really nothing that Stephen Vogt cannot do. Headed up into the sunshine, Maben fighting it, and Maben dropped it. Smolinski rounds second. He's going to try for third, and he's going to make it. Maben was in trouble right when the ball went up into the air, and he stayed with it, and I think he got a glove on it.
He got a glove on it. But watch Jake Smolinski, and you're a fielder on this field in the daytime, you better run. And he just went to his right. He's trying to use his hand, took the hand down, tried to find it. It's to his right and put his bare hand up. But Jake Smolinski, he's running hard. He knows. I mean, that's what every hitter should do. And then once he saw it drop, he was at nice stride, able to get it to third. He runs well anyway, but that's just good hustle, smart base running on Jake Smolinski's part.
With one out, here's Jake Smolinski.
Ideally for both teams today, if the sun could be just the way it is right now, have a cloud keep the sun from shining, because the way it's going in and out, it's going to be a tough day for both infielders, outfielders, and especially for the hitters.
That one lined up the middle, and Smolinski has a base hit. Quintana into the stretch as he faces Marcus Semien.
Well, as we mentioned, Jake Smolinski from Rockford, his parents here, and family and friends, as he said, take care of the most important. He's been doing that, but swinging the bat well, getting a chance to play in all the games, and he's done that since the All-Star break. Taking over in center field, occasionally in right field.
So that'll bring up Smolinski, who had a base hit in the first. Inside corner strike.
That inner half to righty, that's righties. That's where we see Miley. He commands the ball with his fastball very well on the inner half. It's the outer half that he kind of gets in trouble. His ball doesn't have, it has sink, but inside it almost seems like it has a little action coming into those righties.
There's a flare to right, and that's going to be a base hit. Smolinski 2 for 2. Well, Miley's always been the kind of guy where he will give up a fair amount of hits.
Yeah.
He'll have base runners.
This one, Wieters wanted a fastball away, and Miley shipped to a fastball in. And next time he's going to want to listen to his catcher. Just up enough. Smolinski fought it off.
Offer, refuse, you get a draft choice, but you know, do you not sign somebody because you're going to lose somebody you have no idea as a draft choice what he can do?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even a pro yet, but you know, but having two established major league pitchers, then yeah, it's something that you can look at and say you can build around them, and they're two very good guys, especially with the contracts.
Smolinski gets his second hit.
He's played well in coming back to his home area. As we mentioned, Rockford, his parents are here, and so his dad last night wearing the number 5 Smolinski jersey. So Jake's got the support of the family here. Here comes
Troy's home run. Ties it up, so it'll be Smolinski, Muncy, and Crisp against Yu Darvish. .58 pitches for Darvish. And that one is called the ball. And Kerwin Danley, he knew that he missed it.
But he might have moved in as far as Lucroy did, and the pitch down the middle of the plate instead of inside. And Jonathan really holds the target a lot. Ooh.
That one is belted down the left field line, and that baby's gone. Just like that, the A's grab the lead back 2-1.
That didn't take long. At first since July the 23rd from Jake, and a cut fastball just got on top and crushed it. That had to feel great, especially a former Ranger. And there's no doubt whenever he hit it, no top of the fence on that one, well over the fence. Jake Smolinski. Huge.
So that's the first out of the inning. Here's Smolinski. Smolinski, base hit right field. Alonso is held up. Calhoun hustled in to get to it, and he's got a terrific arm, and Ron Washington had a tough decision to make, and he waited just as long as he could.
Yeah, Washington, it's a good play that he has, and it's a good idea, and the base runners know that when he comes down the line, he could stop you and be prepared, as Charles Nagy is going to visit his pitcher. Fastball elevated by Velasco to right field, but you know, even though the runner at second can get a good jump, you have to respect the arm of Calhoun in right field. Once he saw Alonso being held at third base, then he just got the ball back into the infield. Alonso rounded the bag aggressively, but had to be sent back, and a good idea.
First pitch to Smolinski is low.
The Cubs are very familiar with the bullpen and playing field as they have at Wrigley Field. The friendly confines, that's a small area where they have their Wrigley Field.
Smolinski, good swing. And if you've never been to a game at Wrigley, that's obviously something you need to do if you're a baseball fan. But it's a lot like Fenway, where you're packed in there pretty good. You will be very close to somebody sitting next to you.
A lot of renovations. They've the Ricketts family own the ball club now. They've done a lot to that stadium. That huge scoreboard in left field.
Outfield looks great.
Yeah. They actually started the season last year with some of the area unoccupied or wasn't completed. Of course, they're dealing with the Chicago winter weather.
I thought you were going to say they're dealing with Chicago politics.
Well,
which that would have fit too, I think.
That's common. Let's go with the weather, though.
Yeah. Well, the A's have been to Wrigley Field twice. They went in 2004 and they went in 2010. This is the second time the Cubs have been here. So overall, just the fourth interleague series between the A's and the Cubs since interleague came aboard in 1997. So we would all love to go to Wrigley more. But
you know, the late Bill King, unfortunately, he didn't like he didn't like interleague play, and he did not go to Wrigley Field that year. Yeah, I mean, but it was a long hike up to. There's no elevator in Wrigley Field press
you're
box.
right. It's not easy.
Yeah, you gotta walk up, and but growing up in Illinois, as the great Bill King did, you thought that he would go there, but he opted not to go. The only games he broadcast were across the bay and here.
2-2 to Smolinski. So we'll have to wait 3 years and then
maybe
see if maybe Wrigley's on the schedule. Next year the A's will play the National League East. There's a shot to right center, and that's a hit. Simeon to third. He will make it, and the A's trying to chip away. First and third, one out. Amazing. Lester rolling along had allowed just one hit in the first 5 innings. The A's have 4 hits in this inning.
Now Smolinski asking a home plate umpire about the previous pitch, whether it was in the location or not. So goes on a pitch down and in and serves it out to right center. Okay, here goes Chris Bosio. There's the pace as Marcus Simeon, those long strides getting to third base. Going around the bag a little bit. Okay, so Chris Bosio, the trip out.
7th inning.
Jake Smolinski 0 for 2. He's put the ball up in the air twice. Out to Kim in left field both times.
Yeah, the last time he actually had a pretty good at bat, hit it right on the nose, but Kim able to catch it.
Inside to him from Chris. Slider's going to be down and away. No warm-up action yet. Oh,
they're
scurrying. Say it, then they start moving.
Well, I think the pitch count, what, at 103, high of 120, normal somewhere. Andrusic getting up.
And that will be a strike in the outside corner. So Chris will try and finish off the 7th inning. Right-hander will pop that one up behind the plate. Peters will take a look, but that's going to be over the screen and not a play.
Oh, there was your pitch to hit for a young hitter. And again, you pitch to the scoreboard. That's kind of what, I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Healy, who hit the 2-run home run, but it was a 3-1 count. You had a 7-0 lead. He had a home run to make it 7-2. And so right there, I need to throw something over. He did, and I'm sure the way they go after Smolinski will change here. Probably a slider down and away.
He'll take that one into left field. That'll be a base hit in front of Kim. Smolinski is on and will stay at first. Recovery made in time to get him back to the bag. So 2 down and a runner on at first base here in the 7th inning. And our Major League
Cutters in the upper 80s. He can throw his fastball 90-91 miles an hour.
And a swinging strike one to Smolinski.
37 appearances, 2-3 record, a 3.29 ERA, 45 strikeouts and 38 1/3. Good number for him. Only 9 walks on the year. Opponents hitting just .210.
Butler 3 hits in as many at-bats against Iwakuma tonight. The opposite way. Smith on a bounce. Butler rounding. Here comes the throw home. The tag. He's safe. A's within a run.
Second base hit with a runner in scoring position for the A's. That's a high cut fastball at 89 miles an hour.
Third baseman, number 48, Ryan Healy.
Smolinski playing in his 65th game. He, like Ryan Healy, getting a chance to play a lot. And for Healy, it's his first time in the big league. Smolinski's been up.
Well, this was a big one on Wednesday. He gave the A's a 2-1 lead, only briefly, but against Yu Darvish. That fastball got on top of it. That had to feel great going back to Texas, where they let him go. The A's picked him up, and Jake Smolinski, Rockford, Illinois. So pass was probably quite long for him in this series.
Up the middle, off of Shields toward Anderson, who cannot pick it up clean. Going to have a very tough time getting Smolinski. So see if Shields is okay. It'll be a base hit.
Saved a run. Looked like the ball was going to center field. Hit hard right back up the middle, and they were not shifting him. Look at the middle. Look at the ball right back up, and pretty good chance that Sanchez was not going to get it. Deflected over to the shortstop, but that might have cost the A's a run. Sanchez going over, the ball hit very hard off the body of Shields, and then jammed over to Anderson. There was no chance for him to throw out anybody, although he's made some pretty impressive plays so far.
So here's Smolinski. Now the wind had to take that some.
Exactly, and the wind was really blowing hard as they were preparing to put the tarp on the field, but did not. blowing a lot harder then than it is now, but still blowing enough that you're exactly right that the ball took it to the corner.
Smolinski at 268 with 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in. 1 for 4 last night.
The problem facing Sale, not only is he good mid-90s fastball, he just arms and legs and herky-jerky, and he makes it tough just to pick up the ball.
And Smolinski rips one into center field for a 1-out single.
It's a good start. Fastballs really hasn't thrown a breaking ball yet. Simeon, and now this elevated pitch. And Smolinski able to get on top of it and hit to center field.
Back to the top of the order, and Jake Smolinski. And that's high, ball 1. Smolinski, despite the 6-game hitting streak coming in, has batted below 200 over his last 24 games. Almost grazed him, but it's 2-0. And a long inning for Bauer after he set him down 1-2-3 in the first.
I'll tell you where this inning changed for Bauer after the Davis triple. He had Alonso down and made a pitch on the inside part of the plate. He didn't get the call. He ended up walking him. And then it all struck out. Yeah, there's no doubt. He had it would have been 1 out, man on third, still no runs on the board, and it has fallen apart after that. You know, here you go. There it is. The 2-2 pitch, and then comes back with the curveball. I can see the curveball being a ball, but not that other one. 27 pitches in the inning now for Bauer.
Full count.
Yeah, you don't have to swing when you're behind 3-0. You got to make him get in the zone. He's got to throw 3 straight.
Muncy will be off at first. The 3-2 pitch is on its way and fouled back. First ever start in the career of Jake Smolinski in the leadoff spot. Again, the runner goes, and a line drive base hit. Muncy will go all the way to third, and the A's continue the inning with first and third and 2 out.
Well, it's been a common theme in this series, at least in yesterday's game and today. Everything is upstairs by the Indians pitchers. Callaway's going to come out and have a talk to Bauer. Watch. Up, up, up. Makes it so much easier for those Oakland hitters to get to it, take it the other way, or do what they want with it. Nothing. Very few pitches have been down in the zone. They have 4 hits in the inning. They did that a number of times last night. I think the first and the 8th inning they had.
Chronicle today reporting that A's co-owner John Fisher, who is the majority owner of the club, but a silent partner. You never hear from him. He's never around. Lou Wolf is the managing partner of the club. He's the guy you always hear about. But John Fisher reportedly expected to join local officials to go and scout out a new location for a possible stadium for the Oakland A's. And the location is near an area that had been discussed before, Jack London Square. But this is a waterfront location. And
so 2 outs. Here's Smolinski. I understand it has to be definitive, but
it was.
I don't know what wasn't definitive about
it. Was definitive. Because if they could not see the hand on the bag and then the tag probably a couple of inches away from being applied, and evidently they didn't, because they upheld the call.
So 2-0 the count to Smolinski, who has struck out twice. Yeah, that's a huge call.
That's why Triggs and the A's hopeful that runner at third infield would have played in.
So 3-0 to Smolinski. Carrasco really hasn't come close to walking anybody. He's going to have to throw another strike here with Vogt waiting in the on-deck circle.
And 3-2 to Muncy last inning, struck him out with a backdoor slider. That's it. A 3-ball count. 4 now.
3-1 pitch is lined to center for a hit. He had to come in, and he did, and Smolinski has his first hit.
But of course the fans thinking about what if Coco had been called safe. Melvin thinking the same thing, as working the count, getting the count to 3-0, 3-1, then a fastball center cut. And that's why Smolinski took it hard up the middle. And he had to be ecstatic to get that pitch versus the sliders consistently away that he had been getting.
Jake Smolinski lines one in the air to center field, and Davis no chance to get to it. And a base hit for Oakland. Now to Andre Knott with more on Danny Salazar.
Oh, well, Chris Jimenez has a plan tonight as a catcher.
Pitches twice from Joe Musgrove. He was 0 for 1 officially in that game. 264, 7 homers, 25 runs batted in for the former Texas Ranger. Musgrove did a nice job last night in starting that shutout. He went 5 1/3. Gregerson, Neshek, and Peacock fell into line with that combined shutout. That's ball 1. The A's are 10-16 in the month of August. The Astros 14-13 this month. One more game for Houston after tonight on this homestand, then Thursday a day off, travel to Arlington, Texas. Two and 0, and you'll probably see a lot of folks from Houston in Arlington over the weekend, Blummer.
You should. It's going to be a big series. That Labor Day weekend.
Dallas Keuchel's due to get it started Friday night, then Doug Fister and Joe Musgrove Saturday and Sunday against the Rangers. In for a strike. That makes it 2-1. Rangers and Seattle have played 1 inning tonight with no score. Rangers won last night. Now they've just scored, and it's 1-0 Rangers in the second. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Texas with a 78-54 record right now, facing lefty James Paxton. And Cole Hamels is on the mound for Texas. That's the 1-0 game. Toronto and Baltimore are 1-1 in the 5th. Chicago 3-0 over Detroit in the 4th. New York and Kansas City scoreless in the 1st. We'll keep you updated. Fun time of year. Curve is a foul ball, and it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I agree. It's a good time. Anytime you're this deep in the season and you're watching a scoreboard, that means you're having a good year.
A.J. Hinch was saying before the game today, well, there that scoreboard is. We look right out at it from our dugout, so it's hard to ignore, but we need to concentrate on our game.
Loosely translated, it says, I'm going to tell my guys to focus on the game. I'm going to really be looking past that left fielder every now and then and checking the scoreboard.
You bet. Altuve went to the bag. McHugh turning back but not throwing. Max Muncy's on deck. Foul back. Astros pitching is really going to tell a lot of the story here in the remaining 31 games this season. Colin McHugh, a very important guy in the scheme of things. They all are, everybody in that rotation. It was really a reassuring night for Joe Musgrove last night. Mike Fiers will be due up tomorrow at 110 against another lefty. Ross Detweiler facing the Astros tomorrow. That one rolls foul. They've been seeing a lot more lefties lately. And quite often in baseball, they just kind of happen in streaks, don't they? They get clumped. You could go maybe 10 days without a left-hander and then see 3 and 4 games.
Yeah, that's very true. But I felt like during the middle part of that season, it seemed like some of the teams had manipulated their rotation to have more lefties facing the Houston Astros because they were struggling against them too.
That's right. Yeah, they really have. Lately, they have hit lefties better.
And the record is better against those left-handed starters too.
Yes. Line past Bregman into left field. Rasmus comes up with a single for Smolinski, and Healy had to hold because it looked like Bregman might have a shot at it. So it's first and third, 1 out for Muncy now.
Take a look at that pitch, getting in the kitchen. See up off the inside corner on our MD Anderson strike zone, and just enough to get it over the outstretched Alex Bregman. But it's going to be interesting for Ron Washington over there at third base. This is a very good outfield for the Houston Astros with Colby Rasmus back out there and left.
For the Red Sox, so that's a little frustrating. A's do not have a hit yet against David Price. He has walked 1. He has struck out 5.
I think one of the things the A's are experiencing is a good fastball for David Price. He loves to throw inside, and when he does, he can get it up to about 94 miles per hour easily, and it's an easy good fastball. And up in his zone, might as well swing, and so decided to, and gets a base hit.
And there is the first hit of the game for the Athletics as Smolinski with a line drive.
Now the high fastball, try to go in. Look where he's leaving it. I think what David Price is doing. When Leon sets up inside, he's leaving it out over the plate. This time aggressively swinging at Smolinski as he leads off the inning with a base hit up the 50-yard line. Never knew exactly how this field ran. Now we see it. Right over the pitcher's mouth. That's right.
He was rubbing that left hand. Now Jake Smolinski, curveball, ball 1. Smolinski 1 for 4 in this series. 265 for the season, has 7 homers, 25 runs batted in. His last 4 games, he's gone 1 for 12. And that was after a 7-game hitting streak. He smokes this ball on a line. Marisnick over, and it gets by him and goes to the wall. 2 runs will score to make it 2-0 Oakland. Marisnick gets it back in and into third base safely with a triple is Smolinski. Some hard hit balls coming off the Oakland bats here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, they're not wasting any time. They're recognizing fastball early off Mike Fiers, and if you look at the location on our strike zone brought to you by MD Anderson, you can see that that fastball is pretty much center cut, and Smolinski aggressive with runners in scoring position. Smokes one into left center. Jake does his best to get there, but in doing so took an aggressive angle, and that ball got by him, allowing that triple to happen.
Looked like he wanted to dive, and then he pulled up on that thought. Infield in now.
Part of the game like last night, so you got the sun directly above you, not a cloud in the sky. Keep your eye on the ball.
It is definitely a beautiful scene, but for outfielders it can be a difficult place to play day baseball.
Yep. And the glasses are going to come in handy. Concentration is going to come in handy, and getting good jumps and taking good routes.
1 out, Snell ahead of Smolinski, 0-1, but Jake Smolinski continues his hot hitting with a line drive into the corner and left. He's now 10 for his last 21, and he has a 1-out double for the A's.
Yeah, he did a good job of lengthening the swing there and getting around that baseball to get it down into the corner.
Batting in the 3rd position.
Able to get out there, good plate coverage. A pitch, a lot of times you don't want to see a hitter try to pull a pitch on the outer 3rd like that. But Jake Smolinski, very strong, got that ball down to the corner with authority.
We mentioned at the beginning of this series, they are giving extended looks here to Jake Smolinski and Ryan Healy. basically since the All-Star break and probably going forward. Danny Valencia trying to find his.
Who especially, there's your shift right there to the left side. That's against Jake Smolinski. They're expecting him to pull the ball on the ground. Outfield is straight away. So there's a base hit over the shift. But I think the impact, and I think in the future, in fact, I don't know how you would look at the way hitters will approach. And my feeling is that if you hit 30+ home runs a year, that's great. But that also remains a lot of plate appearances that you make. And if you're an everyday player, 550, 600 plate appearances, and you hit 30, 40 home runs, my feeling is you always have a lot of at-bats remaining. Now,
line for maybe the offense can come back and get you a win, get the team a win. But certainly he did what he was asked to do today, and he did it well.
Matched his longest outing of his major league career, 6 2/3 innings in his 8th major league start. Also did that against Cleveland when he went his career high 104 pitches. Erasmo Ramirez on to face Jake Smolinski ahead of the count, 0-2. There's a line drive past Brad Miller into left field. Miller knocked it down, so it was a long run for Dickerson, and Smolinski with a good hustle getting into second.
Well, he just continues to haunt the Rays, give them a hard time in this series. That ball well struck, and that ball off the end of the glove of Brad Miller got him a double. That dive kind of took some of the steam off of that hard hit ball. It died out in shallow left field, and Smolinski able to hustle into second base.
He's matched his career-long hitting streak with a 7-gamer with a couple of hits today. During that stretch, he is hitting over 500, 11 for 20, or just under 500, 11 for 23.
Balance. I think. A little flare by Smolinski. He'll take it. He's 2 for 3, and that is the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting, first baseman, Yonder.
Well, unfortunately for the A's, the last hit was Smolinski. The base hit to left center, and the double play raised him, and Odorizzi has been spectacular. For any scouts in the stands watching tonight, Odorizzi has impressed them. So maybe the A's can do something.
Down and into Smolinski, who's 2 for 4. A couple of singles for Smolinski.
On the front foot, and
well, the Rays outfielders, like the A's outfielders, were playing deep.
Of course, the way Flores throwing the hard sinker, you'd think ground ball, as Jed Lowry did, but the pitcher was down low. Well, it has a lot of movement on the two-seam fastball.
And there it is. Yeah. Good call. A hard sinker down. So you know what he's looking for.
Well, this is difficult for a hitter, too, because you get in a fastball, a hitter's count, and you're thinking good fastball, but you're always concerned about the sinker and beating the ball to the ground. Unfortunately for Smolinski, he fouled it off himself, kept it foul. Longoria guarding line of third, so the big hole on the left side.
And that's going to work. Forsythe, now they throw back behind, and Lowry has to dive back in. Wow. Heads up play by Forsythe.
But how about
Smolinski gets the hit.
Check swing with the shift. Look at where the second baseman of the check swing. Forsythe diving to keep the ball from going to the outfield, and looked like Lowry was going to third. And then as he was getting back to second, that, oh, please let my hand get on the bag quickly. Just barely. And yeah, that's a play where Beckham, the shortstop, didn't know what Lowry had done. Kind of out in front and reaching back, and no chance. He was upset that he wasn't on the bag. Jed thinking if the ball gets in the right field, I got a chance to go to third. He started in the whoops. And then dive back like he is going for a swim race. Big question. What?
Smolinski has just one at bat against Colomé. Tonight he's 1 for 3. He singled back in the 4th inning. And he hits this one to left. Down the line. And that baby is gone. And we are tied.
That's not the smile on Kendall Graveman.
So Smolinski ties it here in the 9th, and the leadoff walk hurts Colomé.
As we talk about,
Simeon drives one to center, but that's playable.
But you put a runner on with a 2-run lead, you've got a chance with one swing of the bat. Jake Smolinski, first pitch fastball, stay fair. There's enough. Ball just runs right into his wheelhouse. And what a swing by Jake Smolinski. And look at Casale. Casale knew it. Just watch his reaction. Said no. And down the line. Stayed fair. Into the barbecue terrace. And these people. Kendall Graveman, the smile on his face is priceless. That is priceless. He deserves that.
So here's Healy now with 2 outs.
You think of Sweet Home Alabama. They played it taking the mound at the 1st. They played it the 9th. And he just got a big smile after the home run.
So here's Smolinski. 1-out base runner for the A's. A little bit high. Smolinski looking for his first hit in this series. 4 for 5. Well, the Tigers now leading the Astros 11-0. That game in the 8th inning. Makes you think maybe the Tigers will make a deal.
Yeah, that's true.
You always want to count the Tigers out. And too much talent on that team. That one driven to right. Down the line. Chisenhall's not going to get it. Bounces off the wall. So Alonso to 3rd, and the ball skips past the second baseman, but Ramirez there to back it up.
There's the first hit and a good one. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Jake Smolinski with his 5th double, and interesting thing watching him round first base as that ball got over the head of Chisenhall down in the corner, but he's watching Alonso to make sure he was going to go to 3rd base. He did not want to continue to go into 2nd, not paying attention. And that is always tough. Been there, done that, where you just put your head down, start running, and all of a sudden, guy did not go to 3rd, and he's standing at 2nd as you slide in, and you're out. And a strong throw back in. So Smolinski, once he saw Alonso going to 3rd, he had to hustle into 2nd base with a good slide.
So here's Muncy.
Right fielder, Jake Smolinski.
Mariners won today 14-5 in Toronto. That's the wild card. Boston and Toronto, the 2 wild card teams. Houston a half game back, Detroit 2.5, and there's Seattle now just 3.5. And right now it's the 2 teams from the East. Tigers starting to play better. Line drive, left field, base hit. And it kicks up to Geyer. He cannot find it for a moment, and that allows Smolinski to go to second base.
One thing Jake Smolinski has shown his speed. He did the last homestand where he hit a ball that was lost in the sun, ended up at third base. This ball he blistered, and you know, it's one thing for Geyer to take the ball and concede a base hit, but he let the ball get on him too quickly, and then he didn't know where it was. So that ball off the chest is going to result in a base hit in an air?
Hit in an air.
And you know, you either charge or play back and take a good hop and get the ball back in.
Too. That's something you rarely see. Unfortunately, I think Joey got the glove fixed, and we won't see it tonight.
Jake Smolinski starting things off for the A's here in the 6th inning. Alex Claudio. That was a knee-high strike, 1-1. Smolinski 0 for 2 tonight and 0 for 7 in this series. Jake is grounded into a double play and struck out. Take strike 2. Upper reaches of the strike zone. Alex Claudio came in with nobody out and runners at first and second last inning. Got a double play ground ball, then gave up a little jam shot RBI single to Josh Reddick. It capped the scoring. After a walk, Stephen Vogt flied out to end the inning. Now 2-2 to Smolinski, leading off the 6th. Chopper foul. We'll come back and try it again. Now the A's 5 runs on 7 hits. The Rangers 3 runs on 5 hits. All 5 hits. Well, the Rangers came in that 5th inning. Changeup pulled foul down the left side. Yeah, you get the feeling, Tom, and I don't want to say I had this feeling last night, but certainly have it tonight. If Alex Claudio is able to shut down the A's, he's got a chance to pick up a win here tonight.
Yeah, you know, I can't remember exactly when it was, but earlier in the season he had a game kind of like this where he pitched 4 innings, I believe, and did pick up a win. Shut the other team down. The Rangers came back. So yeah, it's exactly what could happen. That's kind of the job of a middleman. Come into a game that's a little bit out of hand generally. You're not in the game if the starter's pitching well. And it's your job, just hold them there and give the offense a shot. Almost came back last inning.
Yep.
Need one more hit.
Ground ball to the right side. That is through the hole. And Smolinski has a leadoff single. So 1 on, nobody out. Yonder Alonso coming up.
First baseman,
Of course, folks, the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark this Sunday for the final game of the Royals-Rangers series will be treated to a green dot bobblehead. That's courtesy.
So Pennington comes in. So, you know, we look for a little help up here in the booth sometimes, right? John Reynolds, the infamous stage manager here, told us in between innings that there's a new second baseman, Pettit. And that one is going to fall. And Calhoun throws behind Smolinski, and they almost got him.
It was a big help, wasn't it?
Yeah. Greg Pettit is what he said was the new, not Gregorio Petit, Greg Pettit. Instead, it's Pennington.
And this is a bloop base hit. Good way to start the A's in the 7th inning. Almost got, as Calhoun could throw, and he threw a bullet to first base with Shoemaker over to cover the bag.
He can hit pretty much any pitcher, any pitch, anywhere on the field. He uses the whole field, and he can hit a home run to right field. He can hit a home run to left field.
Beltre extends his hitting streak now to a team best 14 consecutive games. Can you teach a young hitter to hit like that?
No, you're born with that hand-eye coordination, strength, and what he can do at the plate. I think you can teach pitchers, you can teach young hitters to have proper mechanics and get better, but there's some things that just you were born with that other people weren't born with, and they can practice all they want, and they're not going to be able to do it. So everybody can get better by practice. The more you work, the more you practice, the better you'll get. There's no doubt about that. But genetics play a role in it too.
Jake Smolinski, a couple of swings and misses. Jake, of course, big couple of nights. His first 2 starts, this being his 3rd at the big league level. 5 for 10. He has found the going rather to his liking at the big league level so far. Down in the count here, however, no balls, 2 strikes. Now 1-2. Santiago just passing the 20-pitch plateau here in the first. Has a 4-0 lead, but is not exactly going out and being aggressive in the first inning of the Rangers. Foul back. Smolinski able to stay alive. Take 3 out of 4 last night with the double. He had one to work with there. Outfield playing Smolinski a couple of steps around to the left infield, just about straight away. And there's one pulled down the left field line that is going to be in for an extra base. Rio scores. Beltre being waved around third. Albar making the throw to home plate, but it's late. And Jake Smolinski again coming through a 2-run double. He cuts the Angel lead in half. It's 4-2.
It's another example of what he's been able to do, and that's take advantage of an off-speed pitch late in the count. And this time it looked like Santiago threw him a changeup. He got it up, and he paid for it. And the old belt-high changeup out over the plate, and it just didn't. You can see it spinning, but that's about all it did. And Jake took advantage of it. The last couple of games, he's taken advantage of maybe a hanging curveball, a hanging slider, and that's the key. Everybody gets those pitches, but it's what you do with them when you get them, and he's cashing in with them.
Sure is.
Not fouling them off or pulling them foul.
Smolinski with his 2nd and 3rd RBI in his young career. Here's our phantom cam for you. A little vibration, but where there are no people defending you, you're okay. And Beltre having to put on a little extra burst of speed to make it home safely.
Charging the ball with his speed and making the throws a little less long and getting rid of the ball, but pure arm strength is just not there.
Smolinski takes a breaking ball that dips in for strike 1.
And go ahead, Buzz.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, chances are when Sonny Gray gets in trouble, you're going to see more curveballs because it's a good one.
Mm-hmm. That it is. Gray okays a sign, a check of the runners. 0-1 to Smolinski. There's another breaking ball, and that one just hangs high and inside. Gray, the first-round pick of the A's back in 2011. He was the 18th overall draft pick that year. Out of Vanderbilt University. Well, we're seeing more guys from Vanderbilt coming to the big leagues. David Price and a few others that we've seen of late coming out of that program. Foul back to the screen. Smolinski had a good pitch to work with.
Yeah, there was your fastball that hit.
Yeah. Just couldn't quite get on top of it. First major league home run here on Tuesday night, the first game of this 3-game series. Down on the count here, a ball and 2 strikes with Odor at 3rd and Beltre at 1st. There are your runners as Sonny Gray comes set. Check swing on the breaking ball, and he appealed down to first belatedly. Lance Barksdale said, no, that wasn't a swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rangers now have split the 14 games in the series so far this year against the A's. Rangers have won 6 of the 8 games played in this ballpark. They've already won the season series here. Now Gray ready for the 2-2 pitch. To left field, that's down for a base hit. Odor will score into second, Beltre, and Jake Smolinski gives the Rangers a 1-0 lead with the RBI single.
Well, the hitting and the swings are starting to become contagious. The Rangers are having good at-bats. Jake saw several curveballs in that at-bat. The first one was a pretty good curveball for a strike. He fouled off a fastball and then gets another curveball. This one, though, stays right near the middle of the plate, and Jake jumps on it and really hit that ball hard. That's one that you get it up in the air, it's probably got a chance to be a home run. But we'll take a line drive, little two-out rally right here, pick up a run.
Well, the Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the second. Jake drove in his 8th run of the year with a single. First of 3 consecutive run-scoring singles in that first inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Smolinski with that base hit has extended his hitting streak to 5 consecutive ball games, makes him 6 for 16. Average up to 378. 1-1 the count. Sonny Gray to the wind. And the pitch is lined to left field, and Smolinski is 2 for 2.
Well, you talk about coming back from a long layoff, having been hot and just staying hot. Home run the other night. He had a curveball to left on a line, and now a fastball to left on a line. 2 at-bats, 2 ropes to left field. Says, I don't have much time to show what I can do for next season, so I'm going to take advantage of this last 10 days.
That's 7 weeks that he spent on the disabled list. He had to have been working on his hitting to keep that. And let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. And in the first inning, he had 3 consecutive run-scoring singles. Jake Smolinski, Tomas Taylor, and then Ryan Rua. How about that? Freaky fast fashion with rookie RBI base hits. Just got that done thanks to Jimmy John for bringing us that little feature. And here is Jake Smolinski, who is 2 for 2.
All those hits were hit hard, too.
The strike to Jake. Yeah, they were. There's nothing cheap about that. Filling it up with line drives in that first inning. And the base hit that Jake had his last time up was a sharp line drive to left field. 391 the average for Smolinski, as Beltre at first with 1 out. And another base hit to center. Beltre going to head on over to third. Crisp will toss the ball back into second. Jake Smolinski 3 for 3 today, and the Rangers have runners at the corners and 1 out for Tomas Taylor.
All of them have been hit well, too. Except 1 fastball and a couple of off-speed pitches. Adrian taking advantage of Coco Crisp and not even hesitating to go to third. That was a pitch out over the plate, maybe outside corner, maybe a little bit outside. No, right on the outside corner and away. Headed toward the end of the bat. Still hit it pretty well, though.
The Rangers now with 8 base hits against Sonny Gray. And Kurt Young, the pitching coach, out there to talk to him.
First, Smolinski got him to fly out. Here's the first one. This is sliding. This is low. And Smolinski pulls one foul.
A dangerous location on the fastball in against Smolinski. See how quick he is on something on the inner half.
One ball, one strike. 8-4 Angels here in the bottom of the sixth. Now Smolinski asking for time. Glance back to Rios. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good off speed.
Well, that changeup is so good. It has cutting action when he throws his changeup to right-handed batters, sinking action when he throws it to lefties.
Looking for that first down. The 1-2 pitch. Boy, this one's up the middle, off the end of the bat. It'll sneak into center for an RBI single. Beltry on to third, and it is 8-5 Angels. Three straight hits for Texas to start this sixth inning. That run gets charged to Skaggs.
Threw him another changeup, but this one ran and sank instead of cutting away to a right-handed batter. And perfectly placed, not exactly hit well, but placed perfectly.
Here's Chris Jimenez, the first baseman today. Twice he struck out. Morin delivers a strike. Jimenez doesn't like the call.
Two were out, and that's been a hallmark of this Ranger ball club, especially lately. So they trying to make it a clean sweep over Oakland. Have their longest winning streak of the year at 5 games coming in, looking for number 6 here this afternoon. And Jason Hamill has entered the ball game to take over for the A's in the 7th inning.
Jason Hamill has had 11 starts since he came over with Smarja from the Cubs. Those are his numbers as a starter. I read, though, that he's going to be going home. I think his wife is going to give birth sometime later on this week or this weekend, and he's going to miss his next start. So they're probably getting him in a ball game while they can and save the bullpen some innings. I guess that's what's going on.
And Jake Smolinski leading things off. Johnny Gomes stays in the game to play left field, taking over for Brandon Moss. 0-1 the count. Hamill back to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Smolinski 3 singles. He has driven in a run, scored a run. That run scored came back in the 1st inning. But Jake now with the average at .404. Little looper out into center field, charging hard as Crisp. He can't get there. It's in for a base hit. And there's a 4-hit game for Jake Smolinski.
4-hit game, and he might have another at bat coming in the 9th inning.
That is the least hard hit ball that he's had all day, and it still fell in.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, the other 3 have all been hit well. That one looked like a hanging slider. They hit him off the handle a little bit. Thought Chris might have a chance, but didn't risk the dive for it.
Done so very economically. He's faced 6 batters. He's retired all 6 and picking up back-to-back saves. 13th and 14th Friday in yesterday's game.
He's doing a very good job as far as doing it quickly, too. Limit the amount of pitches thrown.
Smolinski looks at a strike. The left fielder is 1 for 3. Had an RBI single in the 6th inning. ball, 1 strike.
Just the first pitch that Jepson has thrown out of the strike zone so far. He's thrown 7 pitches. He's gotten 2 outs so far. And a 1-1 count here now to Smolinski.
Two balls, 1 strike. Halo's in the 9th. Have Ibar, Kendrick, and Freeze coming up. Looks like another lefty will be coming in as Kotz is up and ready. Beerbend going an inning and a third, giving up a run. 1 walk, 1 hit. 3-1. Jepson retiring the first 2 batters here very quickly. 3-1 pitch. Strike, full count. Payoff on the way. This is lined into right center field. A base hit. Trout over to cut it off and does so. Smolinski will stop. Another hit for Smolinski.
Well, he's really impressed me in this series. His ability to drive fastballs, play some outstanding aggressive defense out in left. And Jepson's going to challenge him with a fastball. And Smolinski, we saw early in this series, liked everything on the inner half of the plate. Now that the Angels have thrown a lot of pitches away, he's made an adjustment.
Robertson running now at first, and Jake Smolinski, the hitter, is 2 for 3 tonight. Smolinski, a 2-run double in the first, a single in the fourth. He scored when he reached on that single, advanced on an error. Finally scored on a Robinson Chirinos sacrifice fly. AT&T Uverse Rewind. Back in the first inning, Rangers trailing by 4. And Smolinski continuing to swing a very hot bat. That's that double into the left field corner. Both Rios and Beltre scoring. Smolinski with 3 RBI at the big league level now. This just his 3rd start. I would say he's off to a great start. Ahead of the count here, 2-1. Hard hit, fair ball down the third base side. Barron's back into the outfield. Robertson being waved around third. He is going to score. Into second with another RBI double is Jake Smolinski, who is 3 for 4.
The only out he made was that ball. He just got underneath and hit sky high to left field. Jake's had 4 good at bats tonight, 3 doubles. Josh Hamilton has 3 doubles. Both left fielders have 3 doubles in the game.
The inner part of the plate, he really turned on that. He has to get through there in a hurry. Right down the line.
Boy, that's about as close to being fouled as you can get and have it be called fair.
Oh, run across for the Rangers. 15-5 now, the Angel lead. And Carlos Pena 1 out. Smolinski trying to get aboard to join Jimenez. Rougned Odor, your number 9 hitter, is waiting. Rangers need 1 more base runner to have the tying run coming to the plate. Payoff pitch. That ball bounced to the left field. Deep toward the wall. It's off the wall. Around third, coming in to score, Jimenez into second with his first major league hit. An RBI double is Jake Smolinski, and it's a 5-3. Houston leads.
Well, that's a first hit that you won't forget that one. That's not a blooper or a ground ball. That's a rope. Smashed it off the left field wall, and Jake's got a big smile on his face, and I don't blame him. Almost had a hit in his second at bat last night. What a tricky ground ball to the right side. Turned into an out. He struck out a couple of times tonight, so in his 5th Major League at bat.
And it has been an interesting season, to say the least, highlighted by the performance of a number of young players, Jake Smolinski being one of those said players. And here's what he had to say about the biggest differences from the minors to the majors.
I think the preparation daily is a big difference as far as just getting ready to play the game. And the atmosphere, obviously, playing in the stadiums is a little bit different also. But for the most part, I mean, it's still the same game, but just everything's kind of elevated.
Also, the media inquiries that these guys have to deal with, doing interviews on a regular basis, something that guys like Jake and Ryan Ruge have had to learn to do. And I think that they're getting there, guys. It's tough. It's not easy to do this on a daily basis and know how to talk to cameras and writers and all those different things, but that's definitely part of learning as well.
All right, Em, thank you. Well, here is the aforementioned and featured Jake Smolinski to start things off, and he chops that first pitch from Corey Erasmus foul. It is 0-1. Erasmus really doing a good job of getting ahead of Ranger hitters. He has not had a 3-ball count this afternoon. As a matter of fact, Brian Hager, our great statistician, tells us that he's only had 3 2-ball counts. 3 strikeouts, no walks, obviously. 0-1, the count to Smolinski. Check swing, no swing. Peel down to first, and Jim Wolf, the no swing sign. Smolinski fouled out his first time up. Numbers 5, 6, and 7 in the Ranger order to be the first 3 here in the 5th. Smolinski, Talis, and Rua. Ball's hit pretty well to right center field. Trout on the run into the alley, and he can't get it. It's off the wall. Backed up by Calhoun, but into second with a leadoff double is Jake Smolinski. And he gave it a pretty good ride to the opposite alley.
The Rangers finally got one to find a hole out there. They've hit a couple of balls hard. Martin hit one to lead off the game that Trout jumped as high as he could to catch. Beltre drove one right to the wall last inning. And this one eludes the outfielders and goes for a double, a leadoff double. The Rangers trying to get on the board first here in the 5th inning.
The Rangers had their second base runner. First time they've had a runner in scoring position. Smolinski hitting that ball exactly between Calhoun and Mike Trout.
A .408 average, 3 doubles, a home run, 8 runs batted in. That is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Smolinski originally in the Nationals organization, a 2nd round pick in 07. Signed as a minor league free agent prior to this season. A little time in the Marlins system, but the big league time that he has accrued this year, first for him. We saw him earlier this year when making plays left and right out in left field,
diving all over the place in the outfield.
We'll look at his striker. It's 1-1. Native of Rockford, Illinois. Still just 25 years of age. Texas striking for a run here the first. Martin with a single with a stolen base. To third on a ground out and scored on the Rosales single to left. That's high, deep toward left center field. Long run for Sean O'Malley. Still going back on the warning track at the wall. That is gone. A 2-run home run for Jake Smolinski. And it's 3-0 Texas.
Boy, has he been hot of late. He's been crushing the baseball. It's a long way to go here at the Big A. 2-run home run. This Texas club has been playing very well of late. 6 wins in a row. Now, this will be a better view with our Phantom Cam where you want to square up the baseball. No vibration whatsoever on that bat. Square right on the barrel of the bat. And just over the wall.
Nice effort by O'Malley, playing in his second game in left field. Second big league start for him. So 2 outs, bases clear, and Robinson Chirinos, the catcher, looks at a strike. So the Angels down.
Right-hander with the payoff pitch on the way. Base hit to left field. Smolinski. Looks like he had another 3-2 breaking ball. The double he got outside was on a 3-2 hook.
Almost the same location too, Buzz. Stayed up and out over the plate, and he took advantage of it. Right in the hitting zone, and that's what you're supposed to do with it. Second hit, first and second big league hits. 2 for 6 now in his big league career, and he's got an RBI too.
Well, the Rangers now with 9 hits tonight.
Jake Smolinski, the left fielder, has struck out twice tonight. He just asked for time as something has been thrown on the field. So they've cleared that now, and Rasmus will retreat back to center. 2-0 Texas. Blue Jays' offensive woes have continued here at home. R.A. Dickey once again has been terrific, allowing just 3 hits. There's a base hit. Jake Smolinski, a 1-out single. That's hit number 4 for Texas.
He keeps hitting.
Off to a great start in his young career. Talk about opportunities. There's a guy that's taken advantage of his opportunity.
Yeah, and other organizations can do that. They can bring their players up here. They're giving them a shot. Show the organization, show the manager what you have, and they'll keep playing you.
A fine closer who just didn't have a good night tonight. That's the way it goes for closers sometimes. Tough job, boy.
Yep.
Looks easy when you mow them down 1, 2, 3, but nights like this shows how hard it is. Get those final 3 outs in a 1-run game. You go back to the half inning before it. The A's had the bases loaded, nobody out.
There's a shot off Chavez that caroms out to second base. Coming in to make the play, Sogard just able to get Robinson Chirinos at first. And Tim Bogart going to go out and have a little conference with Gary Cederstrom. Excuse me, that was Jake Smolinski. Not Chirinos. Chirinos down at second.
Looked like he's safe.
Yeah, it looked like it from there, didn't it? And we're going to have another challenge issue. It looks like the Rangers have a pretty good chance of winning this one. And Smolinski getting across the bag just in time and saying what as he was called out, but that'll get overturned. It's okay, Jake.
Sure, but it was a little, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I enjoyed it. It's really awesome.
Good.
I've never done that before.
Mechanically, you look pretty good.
Well,
you've been out pulling batting practice stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we
Oh
go.
boy. Uh-oh.
So what are you thinking
That's
right
right.
now? Don't bounce
I'm
it?
thinking, don't bounce it.
That's perfect.
trying to keep it outside for those left-handed batters. I'm bringing good luck here. I just want to point that out.
Well, Jake Smolinski was going to stop, and Hamilton overran the ball, so Jake continued on to second. And he is 2 for 2 tonight.
Like Tim, you
3-hit night last night.
You avoided the biggest mistake that people throwing out the first pitch fall into.
Oh, yeah?
They want to throw it hard.
Oh, yeah.
And when you throw it hard, you're asking for a bounce. Put a little arc into it, and you come home okay.
My friend told me it's all about the release. He said, throw it hard, but if you release it where you want it to go, right?
Yeah. No, Smolinski 0 for 3. He does have a walk to his credit today, and he takes a strike from Jansen. Smolinski now at 344 with the average. Jimenez at first and 2 outs. 1-1 the count. Jansen, not an overpowering guy, not the kind of stuff you think of as a closer, and very rarely does he break 90. But a good variety of pitches and normally pretty impeccable control.
That's all that really matters with a closer. It doesn't matter how hard you go. Can you execute pitches and hit your spots? You don't have to come in throwing 98, 99 miles an hour to be an effective closer, or to be an effective anything.
Right. 2-1 now. The count to Smolinski. Base hit to left field. Well, the Rangers now have the tying run coming to the plate after back-to-back 2-out singles here in the 9th inning. A 9-6 game. And Giovanni Soto on his way to the plate looking into the Ranger dugout. He's going to be called back. So with Jimenez at second, Smolinski at first. Soto, the scheduled hitter, called back to the dugout as you see Smolinski get that base hit. The only left-handed hitter on the bench is Shin-Soo Choo, and he's the one that is going to.
Smolinski grounded out to end the first inning. Worked the count to 3-2 after taking a 3-1 fastball for a strike. Had a couple of men on base, first and third at the time, and then got that vaunted changeup from Oberholzer, squibbed it down to first. Inside corner is found. A ball and a strike. Yeah, when you're talking about Adrian Beltre, by the way, 394 home runs, so 6 shy of 400. 285 lifetime hitter. Ground ball, that'll find center field. Back-to-back hits. Stopping at second is Beltre. And it brings up Ryan Rua.
Got 1,382 RBIs.
Yep. So he's nearing 1,400 RBIs, nearing 400 home runs. He's over 500 doubles on his career. 1 for 2 on his night. How about those numbers? 358. Where Smolinski hasn't had a big sample of playing time. This is not the best lit booth we have been in. Blum can't see me to respond as the base hit goes to left field. 2 for 3 on the night for Smolinski. 1-out single brings up Ryan Rua.
You're making fun of me for some reason.
No, I think it's me that I'm making fun of.
Look at that. It's dark to quite dark.
Oh, okay. Well, the camera
backs up what you were saying.
The camera has fixed a great deal of the darkness that we have in here, but
we're calling this game in dusk.
And in calling the game, it's 2-0 Rangers.
Anybody got a light?
Rangers need to do some driving of their own. They are trailing now 6-0. And this is their second at bat of the afternoon. Jake Smolinski starting things off. He'll be followed by Elvis Andrus and Adam Rosales. Smolinski still looking for his first hit of the year. He is 0 for 10 at the moment. And he has the count now of 1 ball and 1 strike. Angels send 10 men to the plate. 6 of them score in the top of the second inning. Anthony Renato just couldn't find a way to get that final out. A lot of foul balls. Wasn't helped out too much by the defense. But in any event, Eagles made Renato work over 60 pitches in his 2 innings of work here today. There's a shot fair down the third baseline for Smolinski. Into the corner, Joyce digging it out, and Jake into second, a stand-up leadoff double.
Well, that's Jake's first hit of the season. He was 0 for 10. But in those 10 at-bats, he struck a couple of balls sharply. Just didn't have anything to show for it. But it still feels good to get that first hit. It's one thing to know that you hit some balls hard, but when you're 0 for 10, that's small consolation. You want some results. And he turned around that high fastball and ripped it down the line for his first hit. So that feels good for the Rangers, feels good for Jake, too.
Freese even was shading him that way by a step and still couldn't get to it. So the first Ranger hit of the afternoon, along with Smolinski's first hit of the year. Here's Elvis.
A breaking ball in the dirt. Nice job by Corpy to keep it in front. Got some goings on around the major leagues. You got a clinching tonight with the Pirates winning.
Playoff clinching win tonight for the Buccos. Back-to-back seasons where they'll be in the playoffs.
Ground ball through the left side. That's a base hit. Freezing momentarily was Adrian Beltre. He'll get as far as third base. Runners at the corners as Jake Smolinski has his third hit of the night. It brings up Ryan Rua with nobody out. Foltynewicz immediately in a jam.
There's no brake pads on the Smolinski train right now. Good grief. Guy is raking.
Pushing toward 400 with that batting average.
With 10 consecutive retired, and Jake Smolinski will come to the plate.
I mentioned that Kazmir had struggled in his last 2 starts. 10 earned runs and 9 2/3. He's pitching much better tonight after he gave up a run on a couple of hits in the first inning. A good fastball, good command with his fastball too.
Yeah, to me that's the biggest difference between now and when we saw him out in Oakland. Able to get ahead with some quality strikes. Balls behind Smolinski are 2 balls and no strikes. Smolinski, a ground ball to third. That ended the Ranger first inning. Takes a knee-high strike, 2-1. Jake at 355. That is first major league home run against these A's out in Oakland. Fouls off the next pitch to even things up at 2-2. Last 10 ball games, Smolinski a 333 average. Two-two pitch popped up right side in foul territory. Long run over for Moss, but he runs out of room. That ball back in the first row, and Moss not going to challenge that concrete barrier. Brick and concrete. Probably a good idea. But still 2 balls, 2 strikes. That 10 game span we had just talked about for Jake. That's the number of games he has been in since he came back off the disabled list. He was activated the 16th of the month when the Rangers were out in Oakland. Another 2-2. And a run the count full. Smolinski trying to get aboard to extend this 4th inning. Robinson Chirinos, the Ranger catchers, waiting to be next. Kazmir with a payoff pitch. Down the left field line. That is fair ball right on the track. Into the corner. Smolinski into second, and he was thinking about third, but puts the brakes on. Is pulled. Had a little trouble with the carom, but not enough to allow Jake to get there easily. He settles for his 5th double of the year.
Not enough to be gained. Risky going to third. There's a couple of outs anyway. Let's see what he hit. High fastball looked like right in the middle of the plate, top of the strike zone. Another line drive for Jake as he just barely keeps this fair. It's hooking a little bit down the line. Not like some of them do, and it's just enough to stay fair. I guess it hooked just enough to stay fair. right on the line. Another inch would have been foul.
Wow. Well, 3rd Ranger hit of the night. 2 of them have gone for extra bases.
The chalk comes in handy for the umpire, the way it flies up in the air like that.
Sure does. Smolinski at second with 2 outs. Robinson Chirinos. It's the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1.
He's on via fielder's choice in a 4-run 3rd inning. In the dirt, Sucre keeps it in front of him. This is Jake Smolinski. They got a base hit to right in the 2nd inning.
Things have not gone well for James here in this inning, and he needs to make sure that he pays attention to Odor over at first base. He can run.
Tuno.
Roughing the batter. Let's go.
18 pitches so far in the inning.
Nice 3-0 here to Smolinski. Carlos Corcoran, the on-deck hitter.
The Rangers are 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position this afternoon.
Back with a strike, 3-1.
Tyler Olson going to get loose in the pen.
3-1 pitch. Hit well. Left field. Going back. Gone. 2-run homer. Jake Smolinski, his first. And they've blown it open here in the 3rd inning. Two-run homer for Jake Smolinski. And the Rangers have a 6-2 lead.
Talked about it with James. His velocity a little bit down here in this one. It falls behind 3-1. And here's a high fastball.
3-1 count.
Yeah, 3-1 count and a 92-mile-an-hour fastball just above the belt.
Ninth man to the plate is Corcoran. This one hit down a right field line. Long run for Cruz. That is a fair ball. It's going to bounce into the stands for a ground rule double.
Smolinski struck out swinging in the 1st inning. 1-1 to count.
I think what you have in a couple of these hitters, a few of the hitters, as a matter of fact, you had some youngsters getting a chance to play in September, and they're maybe seeing some pitches they don't see a lot during the season, especially at the lower levels. Sliders are very good. Location, pitches very good. Smolinski, his first major league home run in Oakland on a mistake fastball that was supposed to be in. So you still, no matter where you're playing, you hit mistakes, and usually they're hit hard.
And that one is launched.
Like that.
Moss going back, and that one is gone.
Now the young man has shown he's aggressive. You make a mistake, and this is a breaking pitch right in the heart of the plate. And I think the Shark knew it because it was crushed, and no doubt, even in left field.
So Smolinski at home run against the A's in Oakland, and he gets them again here in Arlington.
Got a mistake fastball in Oakland against Casimir. And then this one tonight.
2 outs, man aboard. Jake Smolinski fouls it off. Smolinski batting in the 9-hole in last night's game, 0 for 2. Hit by a pitch. That was in the 5th, and that went back to review, was reviewed back in New York, and they said it did hit him. It certainly in the replays we saw, it looked like he got all back. Shoots one the other way, base hit. 2 men aboard.
Well, I thought it was a bad call. I thought it was obvious too. It ended up costing Felix an earned run. But here's the swing by Smolinski. Solid line drive into right field. Looks like it's on a breaking ball, maybe his curveball that Paxton left up in the zone.
Second hit of the season for Smolinski, now 2 for 18.
They seem to be making some pretty solid contact against him, even though they've only had 5 hits, 1 a bunt, and only 1 run.
Yeah, make that 6 as Jake Smolinski pounds that first pitch into left field for a 2-out single. Jake got that one up in the strike zone a bit. He said, fine, I'm going to hack at that. And he comes away with a base hit. Smolinski at first now with 2 away. And Prince Fielder, 1 for 2 tonight. He'll step to the plate.
Loose in the bullpen. But here he works in the 7th inning. Now he's thrown 88 pitches, so this will probably be his last inning.
Smolinski's first hit, second time he's reached tonight. But you're right, Mike. In a time when the Mariners have needed it desperately early on this season, with first couple of weeks of the year, Taijuan Walker not going especially deep. Same story, unfortunately, for James Paxton. Iwakuma struggling before going on the disabled list on the 24th. It has
hot dog.
No, okay. No, not at all.
I didn't know if they'd have an aversion to that.
I guess it depends where you are. Who made the hot dog, though?
You may not know it. Here's Jake Smolinski. And Jake takes it just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Smolinski tonight 0 for 1. He had a ground ball and also a walk. And up the middle, and Jake has a base hit. The Ranger bats back-to-back nights now. Did a pretty good job of getting after Oakland pitching. 9 hits last night, 9 hits tonight. Smolinski with his first, and it brings up Rougned Odor.
In the 8th inning.
That might be a spot that Delano Shields, who is used to coming into the ball game as a pinch runner late in the game and trying to swipe a bag. With Smolinski up there, you may want to set sail for second the first opportunity. Jake can drive you home. Ball 1. Keuchel very adept, though, at sidestepping and rushing that delivery toward home plate. Smolinski tonight has fouled out and struck out. 0 for 2. The average currently at 128. In the dirt, and they've got the Shields now, and the throw is going to be late as Delano got caught in no man's land, maybe on purpose. Conger threw behind him, and DeShields picked him up and said, okay, I'm going. And he beat Carter's return throw to second.
As soon as Carter caught that ball, he thought DeShields would be coming back in to second base, or coming back into first base to slide, and turned around and saw he wasn't there. DeShields was just about at second already. Those wheels, he made it down there easily.
He scored that a wild pitch. I don't know how in the world he scored a wild pitch, but that's how it's been scored.
Wow.
So DeShields, regardless of what you scored, is at second base. And Smolinski taps that next pitch foul. It is 2-1. Jake trying to pick him up. Rangers trail 1-0. Runners in scoring position. Rangers at 200 this season, 0 for 9 tonight. Second time Delano DeShields has been out there in scoring position. Altuve keeping him relatively close at second. Smolinski, a base hit to center field. Here comes DeShields. Here comes the throw from Marisnik. It's offline. The throw to second is late. DeShields scores. Smolinski drives home the tying run. It's a 1-1 ball game. Well, there's what speed does for you. Both DeShields and Smolinski.
Great base running by Smolinski. He kept going. He knew the play was going to be at the plate and saw that throw was over every cutoff man's head. And he just kept going right around first base into second base to get himself into scoring position. A lot of times that hitter will become a spectator and watch the action that's going on. But Smolinski gets a fastball up and in the zone, dunks it into center field. Marisnik charges hard, makes a nice strong throw, but out of the way, nowhere near a cutoff man. And Smolinski saw that and kept going right on around to second base. Great heads-up play by Smolinski.
Jake Smolinski starting off the Ranger fourth inning, and he pulls that first pitch from Tropiano foul for ball one, or strike one. That's great. You got to have real thick hair to make that stand up like that.
Or a flat head.
Or a flat head. Yeah. Smolinski waving at that off-speed pitch from Tropiano. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Jake, a fly ball to right, his first time up there. Rangers leading 3-0. They have out-hit the Astros 3-2. Rangers putting 3 hits together and a walk in that third. A ball and 2 strikes. .349 average after the 0 for 1 for the Ranger right fielder, Jake Smolinski. One-two pitch. Slow roller up the middle, but in the right spot. They can't get it, and Smolinski muscles a base hit to center to start off the Ranger fourth.
Those kind of hits make you feel good. They really do. That jams you. You go, oh, man. And then you look up and you go, whoa, there's no one there. We got a base hit on that thing. The ball way in on the fist. Jake didn't hit it all that hard, but VR was way around, shading him toward third, and goes right into center field for a lovely little hit. I only hit mine on a good part of the bat, Max, so I wouldn't know what that feels like. What's it feel like?
I know all too.
Nice way to end the season with a great outing and a win number 11.
Well, they're making the top winner on the Ranger staff. He and Yu Darvish right now, the only 2 with 10 of them. And Smolinski runs one to left field for a base hit. Well, the first 2 aboard for the Rangers here in the 7th. 2 on nobody, and Ryan Rua is coming up. That's 4 hits in the last 5 batters for the Rangers. Drake's first hit of the night.
Fastball inside part of the plate. Jake had to muscle that ball out there. Got in on him just a little bit. Strong kid. He does muscle it out there for a base hit.
Well, Bob Melvin is coming out to the mound, and he's got the hook with him. He's going to take Jason Hamill back to the dugout.
So here's Smolinski, and then Rua and Adducci. In the bottom of the 7th inning, A's trailing 3-2. The A's have 6 more outs to come back and win this game and get themselves to the postseason. Samardzia's first pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. And for Samardzia, that was pitch number 85. He's got 7 strikeouts. He has not walked anybody.
And that was pretty much the same pitch that Smolinski hit for a home run his last at bat.
Another good pitch, 0-2.
Now look at the target, look at the pitch, look at where it goes. And there's a breaking ball stayed right in the middle of the plate. And Smolinski with his 3rd home run, 12 runs batted in, so a good month for the youngster, playing both left field and right field.
Just missed 1-2. Well, there'll probably be a couple of these youngsters that we've seen in September, Rua or Smolinski, maybe both, who knows, maybe they're putting themselves in the picture for a spot next year. There's good players coming back from injuries for the Rangers.
Check swing, a hard sinker, flyer, a sinker inside, and no swing. They done first inning on the fastball inside. I think Rios is a kid, like you said, it's whether they pick up the option on him, because Drew's coming back to hook.
Hook down the left field line, and that's going to fall for a hit. Moss grabs it. Smolinski, big turn, puts on the brakes. So he just kind of went out there and hooked that one, Ray.
Another hanging breaking ball, and that is, he's taking them, and then he gets another one with a couple of strikes, and seems to be a better pitch to hit. And fortunately, this one is out on the front foot a little bit, keep it in the park, but it hit also very well. But a great job of Brandon Moss to get to the ball. But Smolinski was thinking too, and that would have been a leadoff double, but instead, as he started the second, put on the brakes quickly, and Brandon Moss made a strong throw back in.
Smolinski against the A's this year is now 10 for 23 with 2 home runs.
There for Martin Perez, 4 walks for him now through an inning and 2/3.
Center fielder, number 5, Jake Smolinski.
All right, so Jake Smolinski. Smolinski starting in center field. Like there's another position. So Fegley's starting today. Bruce Maxwell's hurt. The foul tip off the face mask the other day. He's in the concussion protocol, I guess, at the moment. To try to get him back to where he can play every day. Smolinski getting time in center field. How many different center fielders have we seen in this series? Yesterday it was Mark Canha. The opener on Friday was Chad Pender. He hurt himself going back on a ball and running into the fence. Snapped his head, hit his head against the wall, and they're keeping a close eye on him. Smolinski in a hole, 0-2. Man on, 2 out here in the 2nd inning. Smolinski stays alive. It's just the 10th game for Smolinski. 1 for 5 at the plate.
Those drums here at Oakland Coliseum. I've gotten a few people that have chimed in about the drums here. Rangers fans not loving it.
Bouncer at third base. Robinson knocked it down but couldn't hold on to it, so does not have a play. And Smolinski is on. Called out a base hit.
What?
That's the initial call.
Come on. Listen, I don't want Drew Robinson to get an error, but are you kidding me? A couple of steps to his left. fields that cleanly, and that's an easy out.
Yeah, a little surprising.
Home cooking here at the Coliseum. Points lower at 255. That is significant. Talk about a 10-point drop here. So far from 2010 to 2017, we're seeing a 10-point drop. Now you assume, or at least I would, that you would go back and be like, oh, of course the batting average in the 70s and the 80s is much better. I would have thought that. Not necessarily. In the 70s, 256 league batting average. In the 80s, 259. Very surprised by that. So from that standpoint, at least from a home run, or excuse me, batting average perspective, we're seeing more 70s and 80s baseball. Now people would say we're not seeing 70s and 80s style baseball, right? Not the bunting and the stealing, but the batting average a lot closer to those errors as opposed to the 90s and the 2000s. That's a big drop though. 10 points from both the 90s and the 2000s.
Lee off first, and Perez the long set, the 1-1 pitch, and that is strike 2. Smolinski reached on the hit, if you will, to third base. The ball that was hit on the ground to Drew Robinson. Robinson didn't quite get cleanly. Scored a hit, could have possibly been scored an error, and may indeed ultimately be changed to an error. 2-2 now on Smolinski. 10th start in September for Drew Robinson. Big one today for this Rangers team. They are up against the wall. This one is outside and it's a full count. Well, we've been saying it quite a bit the last probably 2 weeks. There just is not much room to lose games this time of year when you're in the wild card chase and a handful of games out with a handful of teams in a very similar spot. The crazy thing is that nobody has really taken charge of it. Smolinski rolls this one into left field, and that's a base hit. So 2 men on for the top of the order. Time for a 7-game break. Let's check in with Rick Renner.
Especially in the location of the inside part of the plate.
So 2 away for Smolinski. It's a no swing, says Tom Woodring. Missed again. Close pitch. So pitch number 70 coming up for Paxton. In there first strike. Paxton, if he could ever stay healthy, I think it would be interesting to see what kind of numbers he could put up. But ever since he's got to the big leagues, just too much time on the DL.
Albeit left-handed, that is special in itself.
Short hop by Valencia and a big turn. Smolinski stays at first. Danny Valencia probably didn't play that great. Went into kind of a slide. He short hopped it.
Well, he's lucky he got a glove on it too, because otherwise it's going to go for extra bases, but goes into the slide. Did have a center fielder backing up, but that is a short hop and could have deflected it. Could have been extra bases instead of just conceding a single. Which that's what
Jake Smolinski. We're going to show tweets on Twitter Tuesday.
There it is.
Kelly's
Still
still
here.
loving every minute of it. Michael's one of those that stayed up to witness history. Studying for finals time. I would think this was a game you could watch and still study for finals.
Yes.
It didn't have to really hang on every pitch.
Well, you could kind of check out at the bottom of the inning, couldn't you?
There you go. Or repartee keeps me up this late. Nice. Thank you, Bill. And now you've got to stay up for post-game show. Ooh, there's a nice stop by Marwin, which keeps a run from scoring. That'll be another base hit. Jake Smolinski with an infield hit. 3 hits in a row for the A's here. As the Astros still looking for that final out of this contest. Because
that's pretty impressive.
Here's Smolinski. When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Hoodie at his best, huh?
Right center. If that's hit well, nobody's going to get it. Halfway up the wall, and Smolinski. He needed a hit.
Yes, he did. So happy for him because that is huge. And he started out playing center when Luke Powell got hurt. All of a sudden, Marcana started playing well. Today, Canna goes to first. Smolinski back in center. And what better way than to get back and feeling good when you take a high fastball off the right center field wall.
Be careful if you hit the Black Panther, though. That is not somebody you want to mess with. Trust me, I saw the movie.
Something we'll keep our eyes on here is now Jake Smolinski, who is 0 for 1. Another right-handed hitter. They loaded it with righties today against Martin. Tight, 1-1.
Yeah, even though we showed you those lefties numbers last inning and how they had gone up on Martin Perez last year, 264 batting average against. The previous 3 years it was 199. But you break that down a little bit more. The first half of the season last year for Martin Perez, lefties hit 343 against him, but from July 1st on, just 195, and back to those kind of career norms that we've seen for him, which have been excellent against lefties. And so the A's are certainly aware of that. And so Olson, the only lefty in there. Righties last year, 310 versus Martin Perez, and 21 home runs out of the 23 that he allowed came off of the bats of right-handed hitters.
Hot ball ripped into left field. Base hit for Smolinski. Scotty stops at second base.
This ball was pretty well struck by Smolinski. You see the fastball up over the plate. Pretty loud coming off of his bat, but just a single with 2 outs. And so opportunity for Martin Perez to get himself out of this. 103 miles per hour.
Giants series when we see after the final out.
All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. We play along here to the 8th inning with the A's on top 8-1, and Justin Smolinski pinch hitting here in the pitcher's spot to begin things in the 8th against Phil Hughes back out there. And a pop-up foul back and out of play. Smolinski coming off the bench in each of these 2 games. 105 average, no home runs, and 2 runs batted in. He is into his 20th game for the Athletics. Phil Hughes allowing a run in the 7th inning and back out there to start the 8th. Fouled off again, and it hangs at 2-2. Chris Hatcher, right-hander, up for the Athletics.
Saw him a lot with the LA Dodgers. Converted catcher.
Chop towards third base. Spangenberg racing in, bare hands and throws, and that'll be late. Reaching at first base is Smolinski. It's likely an infield hit for Smolinski, and it is. Tough play for Spangenberg, charging in.
Nothing more that Corey can do on that play, even if it's on time. Accurately, looks like he's going to beat it out.
2-2 pitch, ground ball, third base. That one is a fair ball off of Beltre's glove and then rolling into no man's land. Olsen is in. They wave Canna. He'll score, and then heading to third, Smolinski. 8-3 Oakland.
Well, they went 5. Butler the best. Whatever happens, whether he gets with another team or not, Smolinski has a base hit. But Ray, you know, sometimes things just don't work out. I mean, you know, you can kick this around all you want. The A's are going to pay him a full salary for next year. Sometimes free agent signings just don't work, and this one didn't work.
Didn't work, and you know.
Watching a lot of stuff on TV and they're talking about Terry Collins for Manager of the Year in the National League. He lost just about all his pitching staff, and here they are. They clinch a playoff spot. Harvey out, DeGrom out, Wheeler never made it, Matt's done. Big Sexy. Bartolo Colon has been carrying a heck of a load, doing a good job, had a couple of hits. He's got a home run and a double this year.
I think he'll be a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah. Throws strikes and gives us some innings. Here's Smolinski dropping one in front of Goody.
So Smolinski coming up with 2 outs.
Now having center fielder, number 5, Jake Smolinski.
Yeah, trying to maintain this lead here, and then top of the 8th inning, with Trout, Pujols, and Crone coming up to try to add on and expand the lead, which looked comfortable early on, but Oakland has fought us all the way back. Smolinski pulls it foul down the line. A center fielder 0 for 3. Oakland has continued to chip away after the Angels took an 8-2 lead in the 5th inning. Weaver allowed 3 runs in the bottom of that inning. Oakland tacked one on. Pardon me, the 4th. Tacked one on in the 5th. Scored 1 so far here. And Smolinski with a base hit to center. Healy will stop at second. And now the tying run and go-ahead run are on board with 2 outs. Bruce Maxwell, the catcher, coming up.
Now batting the catcher, number 63, Bruce Maxwell. Center fielder, number 5.
And Smolinski 0 for 1. He's flied out to right. 264 with 7 home runs. He played 8 years in the minors before they finally called him up in Texas 2 years ago. He's done all right here with Oakland. Pulled. Young can't get it over his head. That bounces up against the fence. And Smolinski is into second base, becomes the first base runner tonight with 1 down in the 6th inning off of Rick Porcello. So the fans appreciative of the effort and a lengthy run tonight for Rick.
Well, this is a ball I think that Chris Young, if you gave him a second shot at it, would probably catch this ball. He misjudged the distance of it, and now he takes a different route and still almost is able to get his glove on it, but it drops in for the hit.
Smolinski with a double. And Maxwell knocks one foul. He is 0 for 1, so their first hit, their first base run.
And the way this game was unfolding, and he was just slicing through this lineup. The more he didn't give up a hit, the more I was thinking it's hard for Priscilla to throw a no-hitter because he throws too many strikes. It's always.
And he's going to face Smolinski, Simeon, and Valencia. So 3 right-handed hitters. That's kind of the spot you'd like to have Cishek in if you're the Mariners. He's tough on right-handed hitters.
Sure, right-handed hitter faced him, pick up the slider, spin, let it go. That's a hard sinker down and in.
Marte gets there, but Smolinski with a head-first dive has a leadoff base hit here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That's pretty impressive slide by Smolinski. He actually was low to the ground and kind of slid.
Smolinski 1 for 2. Solid smash left field.
Ended up getting in a hitter's count. Cody gave him a fastball to hit, and he lined it into left.
2 for 3 day for Jake. Top of the order, Marcus Simeon.
The double play huge as Maxwell comes through with a hit.
And here's Jake Smolinski hitting at .253. 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. Smolinski skies one down the right field line, but foul. So here's the 3 hits last night for Bruce Maxwell.
One off Iwakuma, right back up the mound or up the middle, off the mound, and could not throw him out. And a ball down the left field line. He just slapped it past the third baseman Seager. But the biggest one probably over the head of the center fielder with a double. That would drive in a run with 2 outs. Martin could not get to the ball, and Maxwell back in there again today.
Just guessing here, but he's in there because of what happened last night.
Absolutely. It's the check swing called by Will Little at first base.
So 0-2 to Smolinski. 0 for 3 last night. He did score a run. Rolls that one foul. Smolinski playing a lot. In the second half of the season, this is the 52nd game that the A's are playing again since the All-Star break, and he has started 46 of them. So he, like Ryan Healy, the A's are taking a very, very long look at Jake Smolinski. He's been struggling as of late. It's possible. Could be getting a little tired playing every day. But I guess that would be part of the evaluation as well.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
How does the guy fight through maybe a little fatigue from playing every day? Good take there by Smolinski. 2-2 the count.
Well, we're Jake Smolinski, how far he has come. He let go by the Rangers, hit his first home run as a member of the Rangers against the A's, and then put on waivers. The A's pick him up, and next thing you know, he's playing exceptionally well in the outfield for the A's, and maybe the starting center field in the future.
And that's a base hit right center field. Smith over to cut it off, and Maxwell will stop at second.
And a great at bat, a check swing on a curveball, and then another curveball he took down low, and just figured might as well take a base hit to right field. And he does perfectly over the head of Cano at second. Not hit sharply enough to get to the wall to possibly score a run, but Smolinski with a 2-out hit keeps the inning going. Back to the top of the batting order.
Don't you think, Gray, there's a couple different evaluations you make on a player. The first one is
ground outs to third and a fly ball to left. 2 balls, no strikes. Been a long afternoon on the pitching side. Still just a 3-0 deficit for the Angels. Smolinski fouls it off. It's 2-1. Alex Meyer made his Angels debut. A little bit of everything with 5 strikeouts and 4 walks in 3 1/3. 1 hit, 1 run. Alvarez gave up a run in 2/3 of an inning on 2 hits. I mentioned Chacin giving up a run. A couple of walks and 2 hits. Good off-speed pitch, 2-2. Got him to reach for it. Long run for C.J. Crow, not going to get there.
If they're holding Wendell at first, has to go back on that pop-up.
Not an easy play for any first baseman.
Yeah, starting out at that 30-yard line at first base and working his way to that 10-yard line, but a little bit too far for him.
Short lead for Wendell at first. Picked up his first big league stolen base a couple of innings ago. Smolinski shoots it down the line, slicing foul.
By the way, when Wendell faced Oberholzer, both born in Delaware. I mean, I wouldn't see that too often.
Smolinski pops it up. First base side. Bandy and Crow coming toward the dugout, and they'll run out of room. Landing next to a Jeff Samardzija jersey down there. Had a Bobby Higginson signing earlier today. Because why wouldn't you?
Especially here in Oakland.
Yeah.
Tiger jersey.
Smolinski pulls one through the left side, a base hit. So Oakland once again with a couple of base runners on board to start the inning.
Now batting shortstop, number 10, Marcus.
So the first two have reached against Oberholzer via the single. And here's Mark.
90s fastball, curve, slider, change. Normally fastball, slider.
Second appearance for Pounders in this series. He pitched on Monday and allowed a run in his inning. No balls, 2 strikes on Smolinski. 0 for 3 with a run scored. Man, how did he hit that pitch there? An 0-2 fastball that was up and maybe out of the strike zone. And he shoots it to right field for a 1-out single.
Tommy hawked. Yeah, see that top end? Had the barrel up. Ooh, that was nice. against Gioni.
Third pitcher of the afternoon. He's up high to Jake Smolinski. Smolinski hitless in 2 tries. Flied out to center, grounded out to short. Rangers won the opener here Friday night. A 7-6 walk-off. Bouncer third base. That one in the hole, and no play for Elvis Andrus. That'll be an infield hit for Smolinski. Only chance really was if Profar could somehow flag that ball just beyond his reach. I see Mitch Moreland. He stays in the game at first.
Detroit leads Kansas City 3-2. They're in the 6th inning now in Detroit. Kendrys Morales hit his 18th homer for KC, and Mike Moustakas number 20. There's strike one. That race for the best record in the American League and home field advantage throughout the playoffs could get very interesting in the final days. Toronto currently 85-62, Kansas City 86-61 coming into play today. Just a 1-game lead for Kansas City for that best record. 1 ball, 1 strike. Toronto did lose though earlier today. Well, that's reason for these teams to play hard up to the end. Try to tuck away every win possible and secure home field advantage. That could be a big difference. That's driven out to left field. Could be big trouble. That one is high off the wall. It kicks past Preston Tucker. And now Semien will come home to give Oakland its first lead, 4-3 on an RBI double by Smolinski.
Found himself a hanger, and he dealt with it the way any hitter would like to. Let's this breaking ball stay up right through the heart of the plate.
Oakland trailed 3-0 and now leads 4-3.
Not sure Colby Rasmus was on the move initially on that ball.
6 doubles for Smolinski. That's 7 hits for Oakland, 4 for Houston. Carson Blair is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out.
All the numbers are there. But as I started to say, remember when Adrian Beltre left Seattle, signed a 1-year deal with Red Sox? In a huge contract with the Rangers, but he had a good year. Samardzija turned down a pretty decent contract from the White Sox earlier, and he may end up going as a free agent. Maybe say 1 year. Let me get my numbers back up to warrant a better contract. Maybe he'll look at this year as being just an aberration that you can have a good year following. We'll see. But as much as pitching is needed, they may not even look at the record.
You may get an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's interesting, Ray. His career record is 45-60, and you just wonder if will any of that slow down the bidders when it comes time to go after Jeff Samardzija? Probably not.
Didn't happen to Homer Bailey with the Reds.
Yeah, Homer Bailey. Tommy John guy. Smolinski rips one left field. Cabrera over, and he can't get it. Drops fair. 1-run scores, and Sogard is going to be held, and it is 5-0 A's here in the first. Smolinski right down the line and left.
And another hanger. Another hanging breaking ball, splitter actually, that stayed up, and Smolinski maybe thought he had hit a home run, but there's your splitter looking to get it down, stayed up. And Cabrera felt he just could not get to it. And
So double and an RBI for Smolinski, second and third. And it'll be Lamb, left-handed hitter, Owings, right-handed hitter, and then the pitcher spot. So here's Smolinski.
Number 5, Jake Smolinski.
Smolinski hits it down the third baseline fair past Lamb. It's going to roll right into that corner. Stop there, and Smolinski has a 2-out double.
Isn't it amazing how you look at a right hand on the mound, you start looking at lefties because of the platoon and lefty on righty. Bob Melvin talked about Smolinski's had some good at bats, and maybe the A's need to see what he can do for the final 5 weeks of the season. So he puts it in a pinch hit against a righty, and it comes up with a double. So you could say kind of going against the odds of lefty on righty. So Smolinski showing that he can hit the righties as well as the lefties.
Ball that is hit right to him. That's the one that's really key. With the shift on, finding the right side is the 9-hitter Jake Smolinski, a 1-out single. And that is the first hit of the night for the Oakland A's. It comes with 1 out in the 6th, and now the top of the order.
That was a good run while it lasted. Well done, Joe. Great pitch, and that was just a little nubber off the end of the bat that found some open space.
They met up just recently, but you know they're probably going at it again. A lot of respect, though, between these guys. Brownie.
Thanks, Julia. Jake Smolinski takes, and there's ball 1 from Scott Kazmir, who's been staked to a 3-0 lead. Smolinski, a 181 hitter, has 5 homers, 21 runs batted in.
Brownie, this is the 70th pitch of the ball game already. 39 by Gray in the first, 29 by Kazmir. Tack a couple on there, you got 70 pitches.
2-0. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Smolinski came up from AAA August 19th, formerly with the Texas Rangers. It's 3-1. That's out to left field, and that's going to get Oakland a run. Bangs off the community leaders board up there, and Smolinski has hit his 6th of the year to make it 3-1 Houston.
That's the thing about the long ball. It doesn't require a rally. Because the Astros bats have been the ones handing out that message all year long. You go 3-0, you come back throwing one through the heart of the plate. You go 3-1 and put it right there again, and instant tattoo. Hear it in words, because I think most of us have at some time or another gone out on the field and played a little baseball, and you saw somebody swing while you were playing defense, and you started to lean one way or another, and you kind of see it. I don't know that you can sum it up in words a lot of times, but there's something that you can see that tells you which way the ball might have the tendency to go.
That's what he said. Line shot over Lowry into the left field corner. Rasmus will have to go deep into the corner to play it. Ron Washington is going to stop his base runner at third. And it's a double for Smolinski. Stephen Vogt got the stop sign. Smolinski gets the 2-base hit, his 7th double of the year. Thought maybe he might send him with 2 outs in the inning.
You know, I think the only thing that stopped him was the fact that Carlos Correa has already, as part of a relay combination, thrown out 2 runners here in the series at the plate. And maybe wise to not go for the trifecta.
Excellent point.
Watch Carlos. He'll set up. He watched over his shoulder. And then to add to it, Stephen Vogt is not the speediest of base runners. Yeah, brakes sound like they've got some new pads on.
Just had the tires rotated last week.
2 games, 19 runs and 26 hits for the Athletics. 5 runs, 7 hits already tonight. So just like that, an offensive explosion for the A's. Smolinski, Butler, and Reddick here in the 3rd inning against the reliever Edgar Olmos. That pop-up foul.
Think back to Toronto when Felix Dubron came in and relieved Aaron Brooks. Pitched 6 in the 3rd innings, 95 pitches, and like you said, almost maybe Aaron is looking for him to do the same thing tonight. Get a lot of innings, throw a lot of pitches, and sacrifice himself for any future work next few days anyway. I was thinking for a manager and pitching coach to have the starter come out so early, 2nd inning tonight. DeBron last night came out after 2 after getting hit on the right foot in the 1st inning. He did pitch the 2nd, but came out.
Said he's ready to go.
Yep.
One and 2 to Smolinski. And that one called ball. This is Dubron last night. Right foot.
He was saying tonight that the ball hit him on the side of the foot, but the pain was more on the top of the foot. And that's why he started limping. And I think his kind of feeling on the left side, but the pain was more towards the middle. And very smart. It came out after just 2 innings. You start limping and favoring the foot when you're landing. It can affect your arm, your shoulder. Put himself in the mix in rotation, at least this time of the year, the rest of the year.
Full count now to Smolinski, who hit a fly ball to right field that ended the 1st inning. Seager knocks it down, picks it up, throws, not in time. So another hit for the A's. They now have 8.
It's amazing how hits are some places and other places they're errors.
This final day, there's another look at the losing scenario. Astros lose, Angels lose, Houston clinches the 2nd wild card. If the Astros lose and the Angels win, so that's going to be fun.
I think all those games, it's going to come right down to the 8th and 9th innings today. The only thing that's really been settled is Toronto getting beat up. Looks like Kansas City will have home field advantage throughout.
Base hit up the middle. Jake Smolinski. Hey everybody, you're invited to join the club. It's a 20.
Smolinski will be the hitter. Smolinski at 216, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs, and he's got a base hit right back up the middle. All kinds of hard hit balls by the A's in this 1st inning. So 4 hits, and here comes Vogt.
Now Smolinski talked about getting the opportunity to play. Bob Melvin likes what he has seen from Smolinski and the way his swing of the bat, playing the outfield, both corners. He's done a very good job. One thing he was saying too, Kipe, that looking forward to the offseason to get prepared, knowing his situation last year, played well with the Rangers, went to spring training, and while he did well, they let him go. The A's have him. He's looking forward to getting ready for the A's spring training next year and having a
Batting in the 7th position, designated hitter, number 16, Billy Butler.
And it's 4-3. This one grounded up the middle. And it's going to be a hit. Smolinski's going to try for two. No, he's not. He stops and then slips a little bit and gets back to first. But boy, it was an interesting shift. Ibar was well in the hole. And right when Smolinski hit it, you could tell that Ibar was going to have a tough time making that play.
Well, he got jammed, and you're right. Look at that split up the middle, and because he did get jammed, he's not able to pull it. And Ibar actually kicked it into right field, hustled after it, and Smolinski thinking about going to second. Very smart move by hitting the ground. Looked like Featherston thought Ibar was going to catch it, and that's when he kicked it actually accidentally off the foot and kicked it under Featherston, who was jumping.
Position, the shortstop, number 10, Marcus Semien.
.42 lead. Crawford, Gonzalez, and Turner will hit for the Dodgers in the ninth. Smolinski fouls it back, and it's 0-1. So the Dodgers facing some real trouble. The Dodgers this year, trailing after 8, are 2-42. Drew Pomerantz, the lefty, warming up in Melvin's bullpen. Runners at the corners, low and outside. Well, last night was an enormously frustrating loss. The Ellis home run, the 8th. Oakland would score 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and the Butler walk-off. Puig hurt himself. 9 walks, 1 for 9 runners in scoring position. As Smolinski checks his swing.
You're singing a sad tune.
Stuck inside of Oakland with them Vita Blues again.
Take a look there and holds up.
Billy Butler is on deck. Burns at third. Canna's at first. Time call. Outside of your win in '88, Dodgers coming into this game 2-13 all time here. On 2-1. Hard ground ball past Turner. Burns scores. Canna's on his way to third. He'll be held there. A double for Smolinski. And the Athletics tack on another
and lead 5-2.
Jim Johnson sits and watches with nothing that he can do about it anymore. The bunt hit off of him really set this inning up. Justin Turner attempts to get that ball, but it gets by him. A couple steps and a reach, and it just hits the laces there. Baez pats down the hatches and pulls down the hat, but that ball's in left field.
Smolinski with a broken bat, game-tying base hit in the 9th inning against Glenn Perkins, and a home run today. Strike one. Smolinski picked up from the Texas Rangers. And he punches a base hit to right field. Butler will gain second base. 4th hit allowed by J.R. Graham. Gave up a double to Fegley to score a run in the 3rd. A single by Semien in the 4th, and now a pair of hits early in the 5th. You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at-bat on your smartphone or tablet. Smolinski called out on strikes his first time up. He takes high, 1-1. Malone in the 2nd inning, couple of strikeouts and then the error, and you think, well, no big deal. And then Fegley hits his home run. A couple of quick outs here in the 3rd. Canna gets hit in the ankle by a pitch, and you think, well, no big deal. But then double home run, and now it's a big deal.
Yeah, 5 runs when Jesse Chavez has thrown a one-hitter to this point. Twins have been struggling offensively. The runs are hard to come by. Hits are hard to come by.
Mentioned Baltimore beat Detroit 9-3. Danny Duffy outpitched Chris Sale. The White Sox lost again, maybe more importantly for the Twins. Kansas City won again, 4-1. They've now pushed the Tigers 10.5 games out of first place. And outside 2-2.
Unfortunately, with the Twins losing yesterday, they're back to 5. They've got to figure out a way to get back in this, or they'll be at 6.
Hit a ton, but it's foul. It won't get any easier for the Twins. They're playing the last place A's in this series, and starting Tuesday night, they'll be taking on a first place club in the the Los Angeles Angels. Down and in, and it's a full count to Smolinski.
You just get that sense, and I'm not predicting anything. It's too early to do that. 5 or 6 games at this point in the season, there's nothing to come back from, but Kansas City has really got a swagger about them after what they accomplished in postseason last year.
Fly to left, and this has got some carry.
Man,
Robinson back. It's 6-0. 3 early home runs and 6 runs on the board for the A's. The Twins responded very well with their walk-off win Friday. Played really good baseball in the balance of the series. And now the A's carrying themselves with a little swagger today after the walk-off win last night.
Well, that pitch, another pitch. Smolinski went down. That ball's a couple inches off the plate, down in the zone. I mean, that's a pitcher's pitch right there. And there's no way you can hit the ball over the left field wall unless you're thinking, I'm going out and getting this and hooking it.
And a deep fly to left. Smolinski has another one. Jumps on the first pitch, and the A's get 3 more runs they're not going to need. Second home run of the game for Smolinski. Came into the Game with just 1 home run on the year. Well, let's see. The A's have a solo home run, 2 2-run home runs, now a 3-run home run and a grand slam. They've hit for the home run cycle.
Now batting third baseman.
Down this weekend. You better get there, though. We're running out of time. Let's see. Randy Johnson, John Smoltz, Pedro Martinez, Craig Biggio, right? That's the big 4.
Craig Biggio, the first-time Houston Astro to go in to don the Astros cap. Randy Johnson going in as a Diamondback.
It's a pretty good group.
Pedro and Smoltz.
Of course, I guess you could say that every time there's a group of players going into the Hall of Fame.
Last year's 3 managers plus players. And Greg Maddux, Tom Gladden last year with the 3 managers, La Russa, Bobby Cox, and Joe Torre.
That is a fair ball, and Smolinski's going to beat it out. Duffy charged it. Not a whole lot he could do. And a leadoff base runner, Smolinski with the hit.
You have to play it as if it's going to be a fair ball. Now, I just don't think Duffy could get the ball out of his glove cleanly enough. A double clutch there, and maybe not a good enough grip to be able to throw initially, and did not want to throw it past Belt. But
it was interesting because when he caught it, he was in foul territory. A year and a half.
Let's see, the Chicago Cubs, John Lester, Felix DeBron. Yeah,
that's true.
So probably when the Cubs went after John Lester, and they did go after him for sure.
So DeBron landed here with the Blue Jays. There's a shot base hit left center field. Smolinski with a big turn, and then he hits the brakes. A 1-out single. And that'll bring up Laurie.
That's the way you attack it. Good fastball lifted out over the plate and threw his glove up, but no chance. That ball was hit very hard. Even the second base umpire, Pat Holberg, had to get out of the way. And this is the way you're supposed to do it. Aggressively go around the bag. If there's a mistake with the outfielder, you can continue to go into second base. And if you just jog to first, which we have seen some guys do, they just concede that it's going to be just a base hit. You know, it's one of those, it's a visiting team, we're going to throw it in. And I want to say that was the one.
It's in the showcase downstairs.
That's right. It was thrown back. They said, thank you very much. We were looking for that ball. And but yeah, Claudel was a great player, and he could fly. So, and Claudel's still in the Bay Area. Haven't seen him in a while. Good man, though.
Smolinski has reached on a fielder's choice, walked, and scored a run. It's this one, high and foul down the right field line. So 1-1. Sabathia about to throw pitch number 83.
So yeah, it's amazing how good some of those pitches looked, and the number of pitches that have been swung out of the strike zone tonight is mind-boggling. And actually, it's helping CC Sabathia as he's pitching with 1 out in the 6th inning. Second inning, the A's had an opportunity. They did score 2, but remember they had the first and third, only 1 out. Line drive by Semien prevented another run from scoring. Last night the A's won an extra innings, but they also had the 3rd inning in which they had runners on base and nobody out, couldn't score. Ended up having actually first and third in that weird double play where Drew caught the ball, ended up doubling up Reddick.
just missed on a very close pitch. 3-2 to Smolinski with Fegley to follow.
Well, the backdoor breaking ball, and while John Hirschbeck will call them, then this one more or less coming around the plate. Murphy caught it in the strike zone, but that ball had to go around the plate to get to him.
So the payoff pitch, here it is, and it's reached for, popped up down the right field line. Chris Young a long run, and Chris Young slides, and he may not have had to slide, although sometimes an outfielder will do that so he doesn't crash into the sidewall, but
he could have run parallel to the wall. Actually, if he just started to make a left turn, right turn, and
he slid a little too early.
Slid too early, and once you go on a slide, there's where you start losing the ball and having to reach back, and your momentum with the slides carrying you past the baseball. But if he just made a right turn, gone really adjacent to the foul line, he might have been able to catch it standing up. Great effort.
So another opportunity for Smolinski. Setting up inside, and it is inside, and it's bounced into the dugout. The bat boy made the play. So another 3-2 pitch coming up. And it's lined to left, and that's a base hit. Boy, what an at bat for Jake Smolinski. So he's been on base all 3 times.
Got a changeup, 3-2, kept his bat back enough to get the base hit. So you're right, a very good at bat, especially with a 3-2 changeup. And Joe Girardi, that might have been it for CC, as effectively the right-hander is coming up. And Smolinski fouled off a couple of pitches. And finally gets the base hit. Got speed at first base, and that's it for CC. Appearance. Hit hard to center field.
First pitch. Rattles around. Laurie's going to go to second. He'll make it.
That hit somebody. I thought it hit the left foot of Smolinski, but it may have hit the umpire. But whatever. It allowed. Yeah, he hit the umpire's right foot. He kept it in front, but Brett Laurie with a secondary lead and getting into scoring position.
Kurt's thinking it was going to go to the backstop, and it hit the foot. Little flare, left field, base hit, we're tied. The wild pitch helps the A's, and Smolinski just a little flip shot to left field.
And the first blown save of the year for Perkins, and for Brett Laurie, who gets the base hit. Smolinski scores him after the wild pitch. They jammed him, but hit it just softly enough and just hard enough to get to left field. So Jake Smolinski joins the club and comes up big with a base hit to tie the game and give Glenn Perkins his first blown save of the season, and the A's a chance to win it. Made the pitch, but the hustle by Brett Laurie to beat out the infield hit. Attack going opposite field, and nothing to show for it.
So 1 out for Smolinski, who has grounded out twice to Donaldson. Missed again, 2-0. Smolinski with the big game on Sunday. A couple of home runs. He had a pretty good weekend. So 2-1. No swing.
It's interesting. He's seen some pitchers, and Mark Burley does it, where he puts the glove against his side, then brings the ball into the glove. He does not move his glove because sometimes a pitcher will tip his pitches.
Into right center, and nobody's going to get it. Here comes Zobrist. They're waving him home. The throw is going to be to the plate. Not in time, and sliding into third is Smolinski with an RBI triple. So the A's are on the board.
Mike Gallego getting ready for the wind-up windmill because Smolinski with the ball slicing. And nice read by Ben Zobrist because he could see the ball slicing away from Pilar. And he was able to get on move with a good swing by Smolinski, hitting the ball in the gap. And once Zobrist rounded second, Mike Gallego, bad knee, and he's going to send him. And Ben Zobrist able to score. And not only that, to get into third base with Smolinski.